Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 1 here in the Dreamleague Season 10 playoffs. This is a minor, so this is the first contributor towards DPC points, as well as the winning berth. If you win, get an automatic qualification to the major in Kuala Lumpur later this year. So we're going to have Tigers taking on Never Give Up, Royal Never Give Up, not just the regular variant. And I'm trying to actually see exactly how many points you get. Just give me a second. Because I think it's a significant amount to begin the season with. Everyone, okay, so Tigers right now, Tigers, Navi, as well as Royal Never Give Up are guaranteed 90 points. Royal Never Give Up are going to be deducted points because they're playing with a stand-in. However, still it's a ton of points thus far. Guaranteed if you're third place. And first place I think gets 120. And second place gets 100. So a lot to play for both teams. And we're going to be going into the draft right now. Best of 3 between these two. Tigers playing on the right hand side. Royal Never Give Up are going to be playing on the Dire. Tigers with first pick, having banned out the Magnus, Weaver, and the Marana. Probably Bane or Silencer is going to come out. And Royal Never Give Up banned the Wisp, Phoenix, as well as the Phantom Lancer. I think like Bane, Silencer, Axe. It's kind of what I see Tigers wanting to go for first versus Royal Never Give Up. Because Royal Never Give Up is pretty good at their team fighting, which is true of most Chinese teams in general. So the idea is on you want to be able to break up how they approach their fights. Heroes in that mold, maybe even Centaur, make it kind of difficult for the enemy team to confidently be able to assert themselves in the middle of a fight. There might be a global, there's going to be a call. So you need some strong team fight disruption. They got Ogre. Alright, so they're going to go for some lane dominance to start things off with. Royal Never Give Up. We'll get Necro. Haven't seen as much Necro. Well, actually I'm lying. I saw Necro yesterday. Never mind. Necro Earth Spirit. Okay. This is the first Earth Spirit game that I've seen thus far without another silencing hero. So without Puck or Silencer. Perhaps they're going to still buy or play a hero like Queen of Pain or Storm Spirit that will buy an Orchid. Or perhaps just go for more lockdown later on in the draft. Tigers will now go for the Terrorblade. Ogre Terrorblade, Bloodlust Terrorblade, and they immediately ban Morphling. Thankfully for them, Royal Never Give Up have already banned the Phantom Lancer, so fewer worries, fewer concerns for 1437 as you can pick this Terrorblade immediately for his safe lane. Doesn't have to be scared. In your dream or the Wonder Kid can play this Terrorblade hero, no problem. Shadow Demon taken out by Royal Never Give Up. Does this mean that they want to go for Luna, maybe? I don't know. Maybe they're just scared of the potential of having Shadow Blade or Shadow Demon with Terrorblade. Metamorph Delusions. Good times. Waven taken out or Tigers. What have we've often seen Waven banned out when you plan to pick like Wisp or something. But this game also has Terrorblade, so I don't know. It's a weird like kind of situation. Royal Never Give Up, I do think, could do with a Bane type hero themselves. Or even the Silencer. Phoenix is still in the game right now, it's banned out. We've often seen some Crystal Maidens picked when Necrophos is a field. Wouldn't be too terrible, given that you already have Earth Spirit. The Magnus has with the Freezing Field could be pretty good together. Okay, Chen. Chen. I would not have expected Chen right now. Alright. Cool. If it has to happen, it has to happen. So the Afu Chen, or is this 3-4-3 Chen? Probably 3-4-3 Chen, and then Afu will play the Earth Spirit. SRF will likely play the Necrophos. And XY, we have yet to see XY or Monet's hero, I think. Tigers have already confirmed who in your dream will be playing. What's it going to be? They picked the Crystal Maiden for their side. Alright, so they're probably going to be picking a hero. It's probably some spellcasting type mid. I suspect Lina, given that it's not banned out. Lina can be pretty decent versus Necrophos. It keeps its distance quite well, so it can be nice versus Earth Spirit as well. The Chen army, you can clear it out pretty quickly. They do need some wave clear right now anyway. They're lacking in that department. So I doubt they'll go for Queen of Pain, anything like that. I think Lina is a pretty good pick. And it's not banned out yet. And I don't think they'll go anything like Wind Ranger or something. Unless they want to pick Zeus. I mean, they could as well. Because Zeus is pretty good versus... Ooh, I don't know. Wow, it's been a minute. Hello, hello, what's up? Hey. It's our old friend Spectre. When last have we seen her in a game? Feels like she's been abandoned, left behind by the meta, as it were. And she is really not that great versus Terrorblade. Terrorblade will always have illusions around him. He can just turn around upon you and say, what are you doing? I mean, the dispersion damage can be great, but you don't have any lockdown. And you don't do any burst damage as Spectre, so it's always going to be time for Terrorblade to get off the Sunder. I mean, you can make Crystal Maiden food this game. But you don't kill Ogre Major that quickly either. And they don't have a hero like Ogre to buff up the attack speed of the Spectre. It takes quite a while for Spectre to get online, whilst Terrorblade gets going relatively quickly in comparison. So, I don't know. For real, never give up about the Spectre. It's a long cooldown. I don't like core heroes or position 1 heroes in particular. Safe laners with long cooldowns, I'm not feeling this vibe. And as expected, Lina does come out from Tigers. So Centaur was banned by Rel Never Give Up. In the previous phase, they need to lost ban now. But they're going to have lost pick as Rel Never Give Up. Tigers are going to be banning and picking. So they still need a hero for Moonbiana to play in the off lane. Let's see, Necro's already taken. He could possibly play Pugna, but they need some initiation right now. They have some beef with the Ogre. Like some lane presence rather with the Ogre and the Crystal Maiden. Lina gonna be their Seizure, Terrorblade, you know. They're a big hero. It wins them the game. They need somebody to enable everybody else. Some Brewmaster or Axe. Centaur would have been great. Magnus would have been great. Both those heroes have been banned away. Rel Never Give Up. Basically gonna pick their poison. They ban Axe. So all but ensuring that Tigers pick Brewmaster. Which means that Rel Never Give Up. What do they want for the mid lane? I'm still not convinced. I still don't like Necro mid for the most part. I think Necrophos can be okay in the Terrorblade lane. I do not think they should try and mix it up and send Spectre to the Terrorblade lane. I mean, they could really try if they wanted to, but I don't know. They should not at all. Crystal Nova, Ignite, Terrorblade with Reflection, Metamorph. Nah, not a good idea. Tinker gonna be the final ban here. So what are they gonna pick? What's it gonna be, Tigers? To round out your draft, who's gonna initiate the game? I'm still really favoring this Brewmaster pick. And I think Brewmaster can be pretty good against Spectre. When Spectre comes into the fight, you can put Spectre into a position where, okay, immediately, wherever she tries to go, she just can't do anything. Just held in position ad nauseum. Okay, they pick out Dying. Is this off lane or dying? Okay. 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 Off lane or dying. I'm buying it. I'm accepting this in my life. This is fairly peculiar.
5 seconds remaining.
This is very, very peculiar, but here we are. This is actually hilarious, right? Because now that you have this hero, Undying actually is really difficult to play against as Spectre, especially in the early laning phase. So in conjunction with most likely this Ogre Magi or even the Crystal Maiden, either of these heroes could make life exceptionally difficult for the Spectre. So Royal Never Give Up are going to have the work set up for them. They're probably going to have to post up this Chen down bottom near permanently to secure the lane. The issue this presents though is that ultimately Chen doesn't want to necessarily be babysitting one lane. Needs to be getting levels, get that Hand of God, be able to pressure the lanes later with more levels into the Holy Persuasion. So Royal Never Give Up. Go for the Brute last pick, bitch. They're like, oh, we're playing, aren't we? Okay. Okay. Let's do this then. I am 100% okay with this. I am completely fine with this. I will accept the Broodmother because this game actually putting Moonbeam on the Ogre Magi, farming Ogre. Okay. Alright. Again, this is all just very strange. Lots of things are happening in this game that I can't particularly say I'm happy about or necessarily promote.
5 seconds remaining.
So XY on this Broodmother, the Brood Mama, here in the mid lane. I'm not so sure, like the picking of this hero, like bringing it into a game against Lina in the mid lane. It's kind of a peculiar decision because you're never going to be able to actually harass the Lina with these spiders. They're always going to be kept really low. So I don't necessarily know about this one. But we shall see what Royal Never Give Up are going to be able to pull out here. They trust XY on this Brood. I wonder how this ends. Let's see. Let's see. I'm pretty excited to see this game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game number 1 between TNC Tigers. Just kidding. I know they just call the Tigers nowadays. And Royal Never Give Up. Royal Never Give Up are playing with a stand-in. But they should be able to bring a good game here before our eyes today. I mean, they did get all the way to the top 3 position. Guaranteed top 3. Even if they lose their next 2 best of 3s, you're leaving 3rd. If they win a single best of 3, guaranteed top 2. So we've seen good things out of them. Let's see if this trend shall continue. Royal Never Give Up with 3-4-3 playing on the Chen as support. Monet will be hard farming on the Spectre for his team. Towards the mid lane, we do see XY playing this Broodmother down towards bottom. The Earth Spirit being played by Afu, and right behind them, SRF will be playing this Necrophos for his team. And they will be going up against the Tigers. In your dream, the Wonder Kid he's tagged up as right now, playing on the Lina, 1437, the captain of the Tiger squad on the Undying. Towards the mid lane, we do see Ajit having changed roles somewhat, but still basically playing carry. On the Terrorblade, at mid, we see Zephyr. On the Crystal Maiden, last but not least, Moon Meander. In the off lane as Ogre Magi, bish. Alright, so this is going to be really bothersome for Monet. Are they gonna get the... Oh, they don't get the body rune. But Moon Meander is putting a lot of hurt onto Monet. Gonna force a lot of early tangles to be used here. But Monet did pitch up with 6, so he's just gonna go ahead and pop the salve actually. Not gonna bother himself too much about the state of affairs. So he's cool, he's Gucci. He's gonna accept life as it is. Staying towards top though, I think one of the main reasons why you put Moon Meander as the Ogre Magi in the offlane here is because this hero is going to now accrue more levels and farm. You'll have plenty of more points into both Ignite as well as Bloodlust. So you can just bully Monet in this lane. You have more damage than he does, a lot more armor than he does, a lot more health than he does. So as Moon Meander, you do what you gotta do to succeed right now. This is not going to be a fun lane matchup for Monet. And because there's a Crystal Maiden as well, Arcane Aura will eventually kick in, enabling Moon Meander to throw out continual bursts of Ignite. It's going to be pretty troublesome here for the early game. And even, oh, look at that tandem move. They block the pull camps together. So Tigers denying this Chen any ability to influence this early game. Look how far back he has to roll right now. He doesn't want to get an alpha wolf either. Oh, no good creeps. Feels bad. Is anything at the medium keep? Okay, there's a Wild Ripper. He's just going to take the Satsang Mind Stealer. The Purge is decent, so he can use that onto the Ogre. But now they recognize that the Chen is away. Use the opportunity to harass the Spectre even further. So Monet having a miserable go in the early game. But look, down towards bottom, 1437 is sitting behind the tier 1 tower. Casually denying some creeps away from Afu and SRF. And the way they set things up right now, much better than having this Undying in the offlane. And also, because they have Crystal Maiden, she gained levels while Chen was away, so Chen's creep immediately gets taken down by the level 2 Frostbite, or level 1 Frostbite, leveled up at level 2. They have, however, chosen to put Terrorblade middle, but because Terrorblade starts the game with 13 armor, or starts with like 12 armor and then gains 13 at level 3, these spiders actually do no damage. Terrorblade is not threatened at all. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Think TB is scared of you? Anjit can do what he wants right now. This is just kind of insane. We might see some trouble for 1437. Decay is keeping him alive. Rolling Thunder. Rolling Boulder onto him. He gets kicked back by the Boulder Smash. He just taunts them away. He knows they can't kill him. He's still got 4 1 charges. Or the stick charges rather. And 20 Decay stacks. So he's cool. No problems at all. At top, Monet still having the most difficult lane of his life. I mean, he's still getting some CS here. Has the same amount as Moon Meander, but not really enjoying himself. And he's also running out of regen. He had to get another salve ferried over to him. Kind of a rough situation. It's gonna be fine. Mid lane, Terrorblade. Ajit. Gonna go into the Metamorphosis right now. Throw out a reflection onto XY. XY will roll himself away. We do see Crystal Maiden is gonna get brought down at top. Or Moon Meander will get the chase down onto that. Afu had made the rotation. Might get kicked back right now. Just surrounded by 3 heroes. He will sticks up. Not gonna be enough to save his own life. 3-4-3 with the double kill. The Hadouken creep proving good value. And he sends Afu back. Says thanks for your assistant, kind sir. Nice rotation from the Earth Spirit there. And they get that kill. Necrophos also dies down at bottom. 1437 exploits the opportunity when they know he's alone. Afu immediately gets fire blasted out top as well as Frostbite. One more right clip will get the kill. Monet might be in some trouble right now. 5 seconds until fire blast is ready. But there's not going to be any chase because there are no more slows available. So some action happening pretty much everywhere. 1437 denies himself. SRF putting some hurt onto In Your Dream. But In Your Dream is fine. You're drastically out CSing this Necrophos down at bottom. So this is going to be the answer to ensure that Necro gets nothing top lane. Action again. Monet, they're trying to go onto Zephyr. Zephyr's falling very low right now. One more right clip though from Monet as well as 3-4-3 secures the kill onto the Crystal Maiden. So they are exploiting the fragility of this hero in the early game. And the CM Zephyr's not having the best time thus far, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. Wonder Kid rotating bottom with this double damage rune. Wants to try and get a kill onto SRF. Do they have... They can't get away to get onto him. Instead we see Afu smoking up, getting some vision down. They want to try and kill this Terrorblade in the mid lane. Or does Afu just want to get down some wards? Yeah, just a smoke for wards. Just before the 5-minute bounty rune spawn. And the smoke pops realizes, nope, nope, nope. They're already in position. It's been interesting how much more we've been seeing teams prioritize getting all these bounties at all stages. It's become much more important as games have gone on. At the beginning of the tournament, teams were like, hey, whatever, if we can't get it, we can't get it. But now it's like, yo, guys, this is very important. Also, Check 343 has been denying all of his creeps as many as he can. Is he going to get this one? No, he won't. Misses out on that deny, unfortunately. Bottom. Afu looks like he wants to try and kick back SRF. He's just getting down yet another ward. Afu really serious about this mission. The LSA will not connect, but the tombstone dropped down by 1437. Rolling boulder away. 1437 does block it. They're going to attack the tombstone and destroy it. SRF will be able to dodge the LSA. One more. Oh, gets off the ghost shot as well as the stick. Should be perfectly fine. He actually has a full wand, so no possibility of him getting brought down. And it's all good. So nice stepping by the Necrophos, ensuring that he's not going to get brought down. And good targeting from the side of RNG onto the tombstone. It's been a very slow early game. Here's Zephyr, top lane. They're going to be a frostbite onto him. Fire blast throwing the opposite direction onto the Chen. Chen in some kind of trouble, being chased back. But that's all it's going to end in. Afu has rotated in. Does have the rolling boulder. Is he going to go for it? The fire blast going out onto Monet. And they're going to go for Moon Meander. They baited him in. They got the kill. And now they slowed down Zephyr as well with the Spectral Dagger. Will they try and go for this? Afu does have rolling boulder in just a moment. The thunderclap will be there. He's going to go for the rolling boulder. Not going to connect with it. And doesn't want to commit. Another boulder smash. So they get a kill onto Moon Meander. Take what they can get and get out. In the meantime, XY has managed to push down the Sion tower as they get... Oh, top lane. Going to be a kill happening. Perhaps onto Moon Meander is being chased around right now. Afu is around him. Rolling boulder will slow him down. Low move speed. The thunderclap will be there too, as well as the boulder smash. One more right clicks. All they need from Monet. Yet again, 343 is the one that keeps sniping these. He's got 4 kills and involved in an assist. In every single kill this game, it has been the Shen doing what he's supposed to do here in the early game. And now they are going to buy a smoke, pop the shrine, have the smoke delivered, and try and get active across the map. The ideal situation is you leave Monet farming the jungle right now. The Earth Spirit and the Chen smoke up somewhere, go find a kill, and then Monet can join, but the smoke wasn't there almost immediately. So they're going to delay this move for a bit. And Tigers just keep farming. Bottom, they have dropped the tombstone. I don't know what they were doing with it, but it seems like it zoned back SRF significantly, so he's just gonna chill. Top lane, Zephyr just keeps frostbiting these creeps from the Chen. Chen must be so frustrated right now by all of this. This will be so annoying. 1437 is going to lose his life here. They're going to go in with the horns. Monet is going to find him. They got the spider surrounding the Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit will end up dying in your dream right now. The spider is chasing him down. XY looking for this kill. He has got the spawn spiderlings and the poison. Ticks him out. And they get a double kill for the Broodmother. Behind enemy lines. Royal never give up. Rush into the fray. And they might use this as an opportunity to try to push onto this tier 2 tower. With the webs already in position and a creep wave encroaching. They can try and make this play. They no longer have access to the Spectre with the Haunt. Wait, did Monet manage to get out using the Haunt before the fight ended? That's actually incredible if that happened. That's pretty sick. Honestly, when Tigers are going to start moving around the map themselves. They've been very passive thus far. Content to just move the Terrorblade down the bottom. Farm him up somewhat. He's the second most farmed hero in this game. Obviously going to be behind the Broodmother for now. But Brood just got a double kill, got a tier 1 tower earlier, and I'm about to get another kill onto the Lina. Lina, boulder smash onto her, rolling thunder with the Geo Grip. They get the spawn spiderlings and the surround with the spiders. There will be a hit with the LSA. They haven't gotten this kill as of yet. Laguna Blade, in fact, flies onto the Earth Spirit. And ES is the one that goes down there. The whole team of Tigers collapses to save their mid laner. And we saw that the Broodmother caught wind of this and scampered away before any kind of danger could be really realistic and viable onto her. You're gonna get the 10-minute bounties for Royal Never Give Up, but are they gonna fight for this? LSA lands out onto the Chen. They drop the Spectral Dagger onto In Your Kid Dream. Now the Frostbite onto Monet. Monet falling very low. Chen with the all heal, ensuring that they are able to at least get Spectre out. RNG will be content to give up the Chen, however.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Monet will end up escaping. Do they want to try and take a fight on the back side of this, though? And they did manage to get 3 bounty runes off of that, so I think that's worth the life of a Chen. You distract them. XY is still farming. Has Diffusal Blade now.
Radiant's bottom
Inspector
tower is under attack.
has the 4 power trades. Monet can start deciding what kind of build he wants to actually go for in this game. Looks like the Manta style, it has been queued up, but Spectres have been known to change their minds if they get a couple of key kills without too much repercussion or interruption of their farming pattern. So we'll see what direction Monet chooses to go for here on this hero. In Your Dreamer style on the Lina should now start building into Yule Scepter, I imagine. Terrorblade almost has Dragon Lance. Necrophos has completed the full Hood of Defiance. Back in the shop, it's going to fly out to him soon. And the Broodmother, of course, going for the power trades next. We're not seeing much progression of items from our offlaners, respectively. I mean, the Hood of Defiance is nice, and Moon Commander almost has his. But Moon is playing sort of like a third support here. They're relying a lot on the Terrorblade and Lina to carry this game. But they might be looking to mount a kill onto Moon. Spectre is rolling down on the map as well. Afu is already here. Rolling Boulder going out right now. Spectral Dagger does connect. Magnetized used by Afu. But they're going to have to turn around because here comes 1437. Has dropped down the Tombstone inside the trees. And they zone everybody back. Healing up Moon Meander. Immediately though, we see Spectre TPing to the top side of the map. Monet doesn't want to waste time at bottom. Still has access to Haunt, so not too concerned. Tigers are falling a little bit behind right now. 2k behind in gold. The late game can still go their favor. And I think in some ways it favors them. It's like slightly, I'd say 55-45 until their draft. But you don't want to get there on even footing. Ideally with the Terrorblade draft, you want to take advantage of the fact that Spectre is not as strong at this timing. Between 10 and 25 minutes, this hero doesn't really contribute too much to the game. So now is the time as Tigers to try and assert your dominance. You've got 2 points into the Metamorphosis here for the Terrorblade. He's level 11 right now as well. He's gone for the max points into Conjure Image. Not a build we see as much anymore. We do see a net Dark Soul Summoner 343 once again proving value. The Rolling Boulder will connect onto In Your Dream. Will they be able to keep the Lina alive? Lina being so ripped up right now, being kept alive, and the decay goes out. There's going to be a Tombstone drop down as well. Metamorphosis onto Afu. They bring down the Earth Spirit on the backlines of the fight. Once again, Tigers come up immediately. And they didn't have the full complement from RNG because XY was middle pushing down this tier 2 tower. Was going to lose his life though. Caught right outside the web. And Laguna bladed immediately by In Your Dream. Nicely done by Tigers. They don't manage to get... Oh, they do also manage to get 343 at top. So a lot of things going in their favor. They keep In Your Dream alive. And not only do they keep this hero alive, then Lina, she rotates towards middle and secures a kill onto XY. They do give up a tier 2 tower, but they're going to get a tier 1 in return. Oh, hold that thought. Afu goes in, magnetized with the Boulder Smash onto 2. SRF turning his attention towards the Terrorblade with the Reaper side. They almost got the kill onto Ajit, and they will succeed with the Death Pulse next. Zephyr, Freezing Field not doing enough damage to actually be bothersome right now. Afu only has 1 Boulder remaining. Rolling Boulder flying very far forward, but will not be able to keep these heroes in position long enough for SRF to catch up. And they will nevertheless be able to defend their tier 1 tower, grabbing a Terrorblade kill in the process. It's not a Reaper Scythe kill, so we're going to be back fairly soon. But still, good progress. Buy time for Monet as well, who has absolutely locked in. It is going to go for this Manta style. Yeah, I do think it's a better build nowadays anyway, so... For a while. Like when people started doing it, I thought they were crazy. But... then you start noticing that yeah, it does help to have an item that helps you farm. That's not just this lump of gold like a Sacred Relic. Because the game is dangerous aspect, and Dota is a much more fast-paced game. Moon Meander. When they TP top, they need to be careful. SRF needs to leave. They're going to take this tier 1 tower. And he heeds the warning. And he backs himself away.
Top tower
Going for the immediate forced off after the completion of the Hood of Defiance. Ajit
top tower has fallen.
will take down the tier 1 tower in the top lane. Level 12 right now, 2 points into the Sunder. Very difficult hero to think about going on. XY, Alfu, as well as 343 are still posted up in the mid lane. They're looking to perhaps get a kill onto In Your Dream. In Your Dream are going to get for Upon with the Rolling Thunder. They get the Geo Grip as well as the Boulder Smash, and they're going to finish off the Lina Broodmother with the Insatiable Hunger and the Incapacitating Bite, able to get a kill onto the Lina. There's a buyback coming in from her. They recognize they need to defend this tier 3 tower at all costs. Cannot allow this Broodmother the time to put any kind of pressure out in the mid lane. That was a good move though by RNG. Moon Meander also has himself Hood of Defiance already, looking to get a young Aether Lens. Wait, is Aether Lens a Lotus Orb? I think he can go for, like, he's getting Aether Lens first, yeah. Has a recipe. And XY just wants BKB, man. Not complicated. BKB is all that's happened. Lina now has Yule Scepter. They're gonna smoke. She's gonna pop the Arcane Rune right now. And they should be looking towards trying to bring down this Brood Mama. But they know the general vicinity she's in. Now they're gonna commit the scan for this. They do have one. But thus far they're just trying to stay out of reach. Okay, they see the Brood. They're wrapping all the way around. They're gonna find the Earth Spirit first, tossing him up into the air. But unfortunately Chen is right there. Already having made use of the Penitence. There's too many creeps. There's a Dark Soul Summoner. It's just too risky for In Your Dream to stick around. So they're just gonna let that one go. But perhaps they will still go for this fight. They're gonna try and at least bring down this Chen army. They drop the Tombstone to ensure that this happens. The Ignite will connect onto 343. They are able to dodge the Boulder Smash coming in from Afu on the backside. They finally get off the Yule Scepter. LSA will connect. And the catch-up is there from the side of the Tigers. And they do find that kill. The grab onto the Chen. The all healer will be removed from this game. This game is getting to that point where it's a bit complicated for RNG. Because they're soon going to have taken most of these towers. Okay, hold that thought. They're going to try and maybe go for Ajit. They've just taken down the courier. Here's Monet. Once again, they want to try to bring down Ajit. Ajit gets off the reflection, but still going to get brought down. SRF even drops the Reaper Scythe as they surround the Terrorblade. Put him deeply into his misery, not out of it. In the grave for 73 seconds. Jeez, level 2 Necrophos. Ultimate there. Wow, okay. The Reaper Scythe is strong, guys. They're going to try and defend this tier 1 though. Moon Meander throwing out the Fire Blast onto SRF. They get the Frostbite out as well. Afu tossed up into the air after the Laguna Blade, and the Dragon Slave will get the kill. The Fire Blast now catching out the Broodmother. XY running inside a newly spawned web, getting as many of them out as possible to try and escape his doom and his demise. They know more or less where this hero is at, but I think XY should be able to escape this. Does have the Soul Ring to be able to weave another one. Are they going to be able to find him in the trees? They're looking for this one. LSA doesn't connect right now. They see the courier arrive. BKB picked up by XY. XY is deep in the trees. You know, using the actual Insatiable Hunger to get all his HP back. Stealing it right now for the Broodmother. Going to be able to get back into the trees. Completely out of mana though. And only has a single web remaining. The Tigers are adamant. They really want to try and find this kill. LSA will not connect. The Dragon Slave will miss as well. But there's the finally spawn web. And Afu comes in. Magnetized with the Boulder Smash on the two heroes. Ogre Major and Undying caught underneath the tier 2 tower. And they will pay for their greed. SRF helping to clean them up with a Death Pulse. And all the while, XY lives. Broodmother. Broodmother. Very wily hero. And a lot of these webs are in the mid lane, and they're now redundant because you've already taken the tower. So now at the very least, you still need to take down the tier 1 tower at top, so you can move within the trees in case the game goes south as well. I guess you have some defensive capabilities. In Your Dream almost has an Aether Lens of his own. We've seen this newly adopted Lina build where you build the Aether Lens actually. Yeah, it's interesting. They're gonna get this bounty rune. I'm okay with this build. Like, I don't have too many qualms with it. Top lane. They're gonna try once again to try and get this tier 1 tower. They've made many attempts, many goes. Let's see if this is the one that shall be successful. They're surrounding the tower, looking to try and go for it right now. And okay, they bring down 3 for 3 though, fighting at middle. Monet goes in, they take down the tombstone as well. They've got horns in the second. And they do finally get this tower though. And Tigers are starting to really fall behind because they have the draft that's supposed to be a little bit more accelerated at the moment, and yet they're the ones without tier 1s remaining, without a tier 2 in the mid lane, and having only claimed a single tier 1 tower of their own. RNG have perfectly controlled this early game. I mean, the kill score might be very close, 10 to 12, but the gold lead is 12, not 12, 6k, half of 12. Ha. In favor of the side of RNG. Broodmother and the Necrophos outpacing the Terrorblade right now. And even Spectre outpacing almost everybody else on the side of Tigers, bar the Terrorblade. Going into this Diffuser Blade after the Manta style. Doing as much as she can to defend this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. There is a Siege Dragon here that's going to get immediately persuaded to join the noble cause of RNG. Erstwhile, the rest of the team at top, prepared to mount a push to bring down this tower. They've got some webs all around the area. And the spiders haven't dropped down, however, they will choose to retreat rather than risk an engagement around this area. What's Moonmeander building? I'm very interested to see what this... lol. I love that he's got a buckler. I can imagine Puppy. If he was playing for Team Secret, Puppy would be like, yeah bro, buckler. That active armor buff. +2 armor, bro, changes the game. Mid lane, they are going to go into SRF, but Gunnar Blade will be there. But there's also the Chain All Heal. This is even before the Ghost Shroud, and they managed to keep the Necrophos alive. I think the Yule Scepter dodged the Laguna Blade, and now they dive onto Moonmeander. The Rolling Boulder was there. They haven't managed to drag him back as of yet. Monet, Honse, and Afu will end up going down. Monet going into the fray, but Zephyr with the Freezing Field, creating an area of no entry where RNG really don't want to fight. So they will let that one go. Monet even horns back down towards bottom. Terrorblade is going to come closer, and at the same time XY will be able to claim the tier 2 tower, bringing it down as the Broodmother. The mid lane. Oh, SRF! Get the Reaper Scythe out to Moonmeander, but Moonmeander is able to stay alive thanks to a very timely heal from his team, but still going to end up getting brought down. XY will surround him with the Broodmother, and they do get the kill. BKB was used by that 5 Brood, but let's see if they're going to be forced to pay for this. It's going to Frostbite one of these chain creeps, and rolling forward is Afu, but they're just going to back away. Perhaps they go Roche, and they're all going to go into the pit right now. They are aware of this, I imagine, from the side of Tigers. Oops, sorry. Misclick, my bad. Well, they didn't manage to stop the Roche from going down, and they managed to claim it on the side of RNG, and they'll take the life away of the Undying as well. And now Monet with an Aegis, almost having a full Diffuser Blade at the disposal of the Spectre. Definitely the most dangerous hero on the map for supports. Well, actually, maybe it's arguable, actually, because XY can still basically solo kill any of the supports on Tigers. Can probably also solo kill the Lina right now. She doesn't have the Aghanim Scepter, so no pierce through the BKB of the Broodmother. Boulder Smash trying to keep Afu alive. The Chen send back will be there. Afu not gonna get dispelled. Nope, gonna be fine. 3-4-3 will head on away. Nice save there from the Chen. So Tigers, how shall they respond towards this Aegis? I wonder if RNG are actually going to farm with this Aegis, or if they're going to try and use it actively. It looks like they're answering that question by moving Monet down to the bottom lane. They want to take down this tier 2 tower. They can probably sense that there's a natural advantage. Not natural, but a gained advantage that they have slightly right now. So they can use this to put some pressure out on the map. They still have the Haunt available, and Necrophos will immediately TP top. They're going to take advantage of the fact that Haunt can come in at any given time, roll in from off with the boulder smash onto the Terrorblade and the Ogre Magi, and there's going to be the Haunt from Monet as well. They're going to surround the Ogre Magi first and foremost. SRF with the ultimate, the Reaper Scythe brings down the Crystal Maiden. Next to fall will be the Ogre. They lose the Earth Spirit, but now Ajit is surrounded. He's already used the Sunder. It's not going to help him. He's going to die as well. And Monet, brilliant movement coming in from the side of RNG. In the trees, SRF TP to the top lane. They immediately use Reaper Scythe onto Crystal Maiden so that there's no possibility of her using the Glimmer Cape onto the Terrorblade. And then suddenly TB, no longer the threat. Monet also brought down the Ogre Magi on the backlines of the fight. The Metamorphosis from Terrorblade was mostly spent killing Afu, who'd already done his job, already got the silence, got the stun and the magnetize. Didn't really matter if he died after that. So RNG, they're going to go finish the job that Monet started a bit earlier, before he haunted in on the Spectre. And now she, with the Diffusal Blade, is well on her way to grabbing a Heart of Tarask as well. And now when Terrorblade might be more farmed than the Spectre, but Spectre is proving to be much more of an issue for the team of Tigers than the Terrorblade is. And Monet doesn't actually have to deal with the Terrorblade alone. They just know that they have to just pick off other heroes around the TB, and they generally don't have that much damage because they're relying pretty much all in on the TB. So if they remove his enabling heroes, take out the Ogre, take out the Undying, take out the Crystal Maiden, without that support base, this Terrorblade not necessarily as scary a hero. RNG now. Might get jumped. Moonme under Fire Blast laying out onto SRF. They haven't managed to get this kill just yet. We see a Flash Golem being used by 1437. The roll away by Afu. The LSA connects onto Zephyr. Zephyr falling very low. Glimmer Cape keeps her alive for now on the Crystal Maiden, but not for long. Moonme under falling very low on the side of the fight as well. Gets healed up by the Soul Rip. The roll forward coming onto Afu. Monet gets LSA'd from the low ground by the Lina, but there's no Laguna Blade as of yet to try and bring down the Spectre. They're going to turn into 1437, hitting him with the Desolate damage, and the Reaper Scythe will kill the Ogre Mage on the backside of the fight as well. So 3 heroes have been lost for the side of the Tigers. Buyback will be there for the Undying, because everyone's still alive for RNG. And the Aegis still good for yet another 45 seconds. Monet will gladly feed away his life if it means getting this Aegis. Just going to keep him armored up with this Ogre Frost Mage. The Laguna Blade does fly out onto XY. XY will now pop BKB. The damage coming in from Metamorphosis. They haven't managed to get that kill as of yet. They do get the Spectre kill just before the Aegis was due to expire. Regardless, SRF doesn't have the Reaper Sight. Now they get the LSA stun out onto Monet. Monet getting sent back home. All heal. Use first? No. There has not been a send back onto the Spectre. They decide that they do not want to stay for this. XY is a little bit low on HP. Oh, as I say that, regen rune. Yay. HP problems are gone. It's all good. And they might try to take a fight themselves now. Afu rolling forward into the mid lane, drops down his Dual Scepter onto the Crystal Maiden. They've got the Penitence down onto her as well. Hadouken use. Here comes Monet, having haunted into this fight. Want to bring down Zephyr. Zephyr will be the first to fall. Dual Scepter now out onto XY defensively to allow Tigers to escape. And here comes RNG again. They still have a little bit of time. Reaper Scythe is also coming back in 35 seconds, just as the Crystal Maiden respawns. There's a lot of wave clear here from the Lina. Afu misses the combinations on the high ground right now. Maybe other options. Dual Scepter up into the air. Ivy tossed down Laguna Blade onto him. Magnetize is laid out onto Ajit, but it's not nearly enough. And they will decide to just push back. Wait, who has Lotus Orb? It's the Necrophos, okay. I saw the reflection of that Ignite. That was kind of weird. Well, they hold. They do not lose their high ground as of yet. It might not look very pretty, but they're still okay. And they also managed to run bottom and secure 2 boundary runes of their own. And they could actually push onto the tier 2 tower. Got a creep wave with them right now. They might not be able to take it conclusively because they don't have any vision of these heroes on the side of RNG. And they know that they are playing against Spectre. Well, Spectre doesn't have Haunt right now. She just used it, so they should know that's not available. But they get the creep wave away from their base, which is the objective right now that they need to be reaching for. Create some space, get away from RNG. Especially, but they can't really get away from Spectres. Now she has a Basher as well. Gonna be building into having that Abyssal Blade. Immediately you can jump onto the Lina or the Terrorblade. And they're gone. They disappear. They get chewed up like K-pop artists. Now SRF. They're 11k ahead right now. RNG has the blink and the level 3 ultimate ready to go out to somebody. Here's going to be the hot from Monet. R343 is going to fall very low. No, the Hand of God will be there. Arfu with the beautiful border smash. They're fighting underneath the tombstone, but doesn't seem to bother them. Now we're going to see the ultimate. Later on to 1437. He's still alive though with the magnetize. Later on to these heroes. Monet is going to die thanks to the good blade. They do eventually bring down 1437, but Ajit on the backlines of the fight with this BKB tearing through everybody. These illusions almost brought down SRF. They're going to use Scepter out onto Yafu, but Afu's low on HP as well. Going to get fire blasted down by Moon Meander. And this Terrorblade stood his ground with the BKB Manta. They're not done yet though. They found SRF with the Yule Scepter. They tossed them up into the air. They're going to get another kill for the Terrorblade. Ends an unstoppable streak as well. The Tigers. Oh my god. There we saw a prime example of what can happen when Terrorblade is ignored, ready, primed with BKB active Manta style, metamorphosis, prepared to fight. And TB absolutely dominates, and now suddenly they're the ones pushing onto the high ground. An 11k gold lead has just been sliced to a 4k gold lead, probably even less. Buyback from SRF, BKB activated by XY. He wants to try to bring down Moon Meander before they're able to take the base. Moon Meander falling low will end up losing his life. The illusions from TB will still take the range racks, but they will be able to get back for Tigers, and they hold. RNG will not give up a full lane of racks. But what a situation RNG find themselves in. Not that long ago, mere minutes ago, they had an 11,000 gold lead. They take a single bad fight, get exploited by the Terrorblade as well as the Lina. In fact, I think a lot has to be said about the performance of 1437. He's been so instrumental in keeping everybody alive, distracting them with laying down the tombstone so they have to deal with the tombstone. Very key soul rips at the exact perfect time to make sure that people don't go down. Moon Meander, perfect mix being used in the midst of the fights. RNG suddenly being set on the back foot. They might be 4k gold ahead, but definitely does feel like they are behind right now. And we'll see how Monet will intend to deal with this. The loss of that fight. The Vanguard might have actually helped quite a bit, but I think might be having some survivability issues now as well. Because In Your Dream also has level 3 Laguna Blade, building into an Aghanim Scepter as soon as the BKB is complete for the Lina. And very soon it's going to have level 20. Because of which you went for this Aether Lens, I suspect it's going to be the 12% damage amp. Especially given that she's buying Ags as well. Oh, Horns coming in from Monet. They're going to go towards the top side of the map. Monet wants to try and bring down 1437. They get that killed. SRF will throw out the Reaper Scythe onto Moon Meander just to try and keep him in control. And the Spawn Spiders allows them to get the kill. They haven't brought down Undying yet. Undying yet again with a clutch soul rip. And did Moon Meander use the mech? Yes, he did. But this will open up the path for Roche, which will spawn in 10 seconds. Don't leave the pit. Go back. Go back. Leave something inside it. 343! 343! Oh my god. Bro. There's Roshan. Oh, this feels so bad. They couldn't take it right now anyways. Not with Tigers as they are in the mid lane. Still pretty sad. Ajit will be able to secure 2 boundary runes for his team. Pretty farmed on the TB, almost has an Eye of Skadi. Has the BKB Manta as well as the Hurricane Pike. Besides that, the Hurricane Pike in particular is pretty good against the Spectre after the Haunt ends. Because normally after the Haunt ends, Spectre's right on top of your face, right? But as soon as the Haunt ends, you immediately Hurricane your Pike yourself away from the Spectre. The Spectre can't really do anything. Hell, even before the Haunt, if you pop the Hurricane Pike on the Spectre illusion, it doesn't respawn directly on your location. But here comes the smoke from TNC Tigers. They're going to try make a movement, encroach into the RNG side of the map. They're looping all the way around in your dream at the forefront of this. The gold lead 2k right now, very very sharp, very very small, balanced on a Rage's edge. Anything can happen in the upcoming situation. However, they're gonna be ships in the night. Afu 343 and the boys will just scout out that Roche is back, and they're gonna take this extremely quickly. Jesus Christ. This is 36 minutes into the game, and this is how fast Roche dies. Wow. That was amazing. Monet now has another Aegis. And Tigers, will they try and take the risky fight thereafter anyway? Or they know that Earth Spirit isn't there. They spotted out Earth Spirit. Back at base, they could try and make this jump. XY is going to try and TP home. He's going to make it as well. Alright, so they're not going to catch anybody. Sadly. Very cerebral game between the Tigers here and RNG. They do make use of Terrorblade's conjure images to bring down the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. And yeah, they've got the range rack so they can just attack the shrine. They say to RNG, you guys might have the Aegis cheese, but what does Aegis cheese count when we just have better map positioning? So we are free to do more moves than you are. However, one move that is not available to TNC Tigers... okay, that was a slip up. That was my bad. One thing that's not available to the Tigers is the fact that Monet, because he has this Aegis, can play a little bit riskier by picking up the Abyssal Blade, foregoing buyback for the time being. Even though this is a very high pressure situation. At level 20, did go for the additional health, and will definitely go for that dispersion at 25. SRF, they're going to try going to Moon Meander. They're not going to catch him with the initial roll from the old end. Here comes Monet though with the Haunt. Just going to jump onto Zeph on the backlines of the fight. They want to try to bring down this Crystal Maiden as fast as possible. They've taken down Moon Meander as well, XY, with the BKB. They're keeping this fight going. Zephyr is going to get found inside the trees. The Crystal Maiden is going to die as well. Ogre, CM, and the Undying have all been taken away. Haven't even lost the chain. He hasn't even felt the need to use the Hand of God. Terrorblade thinking about going on to Monet. They use up the Spectre right now. LSA will be there to connect onto the hero. Buybacks will now come in from the Crystal Maiden as well as the Undying. They really want to try and take this fight. Spectre gonna be surrounded right now. Gonna try and haunt into safety. LSA will not connect, and there will be a Manta style. There's gonna be a Lotus Orb as well. Beautiful boulder smash, catching 2 and also cancelling out the freezing field. Afu Earth Spirit for 4 stars forward onto In Your Dream. LSA now connects onto Spectre. Geo Grip from the Earth Spirit with the Magnetize flying out in the Reaper side onto Lina. She's gonna be dead. Buys back immediately. 1437 surrounded by all of this on Ajit. Pops the BKB as the Terrorblade wants to try to bring down XY Warfall, but the Sunder with the Lotus Orb is gonna doom the Terrorblade. It bounced right back. Monet was also gonna die thanks to the Laguna Blade catching him inside the trees. In Your Dream gonna turn with the LSA directly onto SRF. SRF will die as well. And RNG, the additional lives from Tigers, 3 buybacks from their heroes, will allow them to get the team wipe over on RNG. They lose everyone, but they do succeed in winning the fight at the end of the day. Throwing bodies on bodies on bodies at the Spectre. She eventually dies. But what a contest to bring her to heal. And now finally the gold lead is in favor of Tigers, even after those buybacks. And look at this, Moon meanders with Zephyr in the mid lane, forcing out another buyback. At the same time, creating space for In Your Dream to legitimately claim the tier 1 tower, or tier 2 tower in the top lane. And Tigers, what the hell just happened? Now they have a 4k gold lead, are you kidding me? That fight was going so well for RNG. They get 3 heroes off the bat, but then suddenly Tigers smell blood in the water, recognize that the Spectre is a little bit out of position. And they exploit that fact, exploit the confidence felt by the Spectre thanks to the Hand of God. I have to say though, SRF has been on point with these Lotus Orbs. Firstly, the Lotus Orb to make sure that when they try to actually get the stun with the Fire Blast onto the Spectre, that it stunned back the Ogre Magi, so Ogre couldn't keep the chase going. And then they bounced back the Sunder from the Terrorblade. That was the most impressive one. It enabled them to get that kill onto Ajit. But Ajit, once again, man, once he's able to hold his ground, does absurd amounts of damage. And this is even before the Butterfly is available. That was just with the Skadi. And before level 25 even. I think this is the kind of game you get the additional range. I think maybe he's had enough of toying around with Sunder. Monet looking to build Butterfly as well. Neither him nor Terrorblade will be deigning to go for a Monkey King bar. And now suddenly there's a 6k gold lead for Tigers. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. This is insane right now. Zephyr, the Crystal Maiden with the Glimmer Cape, as well as the Lotus Orb of her own. Fairly rich actually this game. Very much assisted by that talent. Get that bonus dollar. Wouldn't be about to crack level 20 as well. Had these Guardian Greaves. It's going to be very useful for the upcoming engagements too. First off, the cleanse on himself. Such pesky things such as Penitence, perhaps even the Magnetize if he's able to get far enough away to have it not re-trigger. Also looking to get level 20. That plus 40 Bloodlust AS is going to be so crucial this game. Can you just imagine Ajit inside Metamorphosis with plus 40 attack speed atop the already, what is this? Plus 60, plus 100 attack speed. That's so crazy. Double Hyperstone on this hero basically. Najit is not very far away from having Butterfly as well as having buyback. RNG. XY has basically capped out right now. After this Butterfly, there shall be no more progress remaining for our Broodmother. She is going to be building Butterfly and then what? Can't really change up anything else, right? You might go 7th slot by backpacking your BKB. Maybe even you give up your boots and you get something like a Daedalus or something. I don't know. Even a Bloodthorn I wouldn't see as being too regretful here. That's a lot of additional damage and lifesteal. I guess the spiders aren't really that useful this game, because there's like all these heroes that basically take either no damage from them or clear them out so quickly. Tigers will smoke. Gonna head out, attempt to find some kind of play here. Ajit with this Butterfly leading the charge. They're gonna allow Moonmeander to be the one to go first. I don't think they're gonna come across anybody. The smoke is gonna pop thanks to XY, and they pop it on everybody. They ping out the whole map. XY is gonna get gone on right now. They're gonna get the Laguna Blade out, and they do get the kill onto the spider. Does she have buyback? No, she does not. That's Alena Rex. The game might have just ended. How are RNG gonna hold without this Broodmother? They absolutely need this nullifier. Ajit still has Metamorphosis for quite some time. There's going to be Monet haunting in. They get the Abyssal Blade down onto the Terrorblade. Terrorblade falling very low. There's going to be a Reaper side flying in 2 directions with the reflection. Flying everywhere. Illusions on illusions. They're going to turn first and try and bring down SRF. The next one so far will be Monet. Monet does not end up dying. Sunder to keep 1437 alive. And the Laguna Blade not even required onto the Ogre. LSA will do the trick. And in your dream with the triple kill from the Lina. SRF, the one guy to end up surviving this, got gone on first. Monet, unable to get the job done, and Tigers. Literally one fight. Literally one fight. A single engagement goes south. And suddenly, the side of TNC Tigers... my bad. Tigers wins. RNG end up losing the game. Are you kidding me? I want to see this graph. What that look like. Like, this game looks unlosable, right? Just genuinely unlosable. And then one thing goes wrong. This is the second time we've seen this today. Seen this in the Chinese region of Dota as well. But it just seems to be all the more prevalent that at all stages of the game, gotta be wary of the comeback mechanic. RNG were not prepared for that one. End up going down to Tigers. So game 1 in the books right now. And we'll see in game number 2 what's going to end up happening. I just want to put my finger on one thing, right? Tigers, it's not like they had one massive, incredible play which changed everything. They just had really stellar teamwork. I think especially 1437 with the heals. So everyone played a role, right? 1437 kept healing everyone. In Your Dream kept getting off these clutch LSAs to prevent people from coming into the fight, or being able to throw out a long-range Dragon Slave, which cancels out the Blink Daggers. Moon Meander, again, key heals with the buff-ups with the Bloodlust onto Ajit, as well as In Your Dream. Zephyr was in position all the time to use the Yule Scepter defensively to disrupt the initiation from RNG, as well as having the Glimmer Cape. And these Freezing Fields did their purpose, just slowed down or dissuaded RNG from coming in and taking these engagements. And of course, Ajit, he's the one that dealt 40,000 damage, so yeah, that explains what he was doing in this game. So all around, really solid performance. And it looked like they were losing, but they take one fight. To give them an edge, they will take a mile. And the Tigers will manage to take game number 1 here in the upper bracket finals of Dreamleague Season 10. So ladies and gentlemen, game 2 coming up in just a moment. And we shall see if RNG will go down 2-0 or if Tigers can, you know, go straight through with a 2-0 sweep over RNG, lay their claim in the grand finals, wait for a challenger. All that and more in the next few minutes. Don't go anywhere. More Dota 2 happening in just a moment. I'm Snare. This is Dreamleague Season 10. We'll be right back.
roll on the analog trail and you look the road. Just stroll to the trees and let your miseries go. Sunshine, hurricane, all the highs and lows. Yeah, we can take it all back to the register and start all over from the canister. Let's break it all down into pieces of bright moments that pass by like a meteorite.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 here between TNC. I'm kidding, I'm just messing with y'all. It's never gonna get old, I always meme about it. Between the Tigers and Royal Never Give Up here in the Dreamleague Season 10 Minor. We are in the upper bracket finals. The winner of this will get to claim the second place guaranteed no matter what. Get themselves a guaranteed 100 DPC points and still have the potential to play for the grand finals to get themselves firstly into the Kuala Lumpur Major and to nab the 120 DPC points. I mean, of course, there's also cash money on the line. There's some dollar bills out here. Just by coming top 3, you've guaranteed yourself $35,000. Good times. 70 if you're second, 125 if you're first. But ultimately, it's about the pride and glory of winning the whole damn thing and still going to the major rather than the cash. So we're going to see here, ladies and gentlemen, the two teams taking each other on in game number 2. Game 1, Tigers were honestly behind for most of that game, but they managed to eke out a win at the very end. And now Royal Never Give Up will be trying to get their own back and assert themselves once more. So here's game 2 between the two sides. The Marana Shadow Demon going to be immediately picked up for the side of Royal Never Give Up. They have banned away the IO Phoenix as well as the PL Tigers. Have taken out the Necrophos, or taken the Necrophos, having taken out the Magnus Weaver as well as the Nyx Assassin. So what's it going to be Necro with? We just saw Necrophos being played with the Earth Spirit for the side of Royal Never Give Up. They lost that game, but they still looked really strong. They go for a very early Morphling here. Perhaps trying to exploit the weakness that is available given the lack of presence of a Phantom Lancer. But there's still Void in the pool. And we've seen what that hero can do to Morphling. There's still Axe that Royal Never Give Up can play. And this is a Chinese team, so they can play this Marana in basically any position. And hell, they haven't even picked up their other support. They could go for something really cheesy and pick up an Ancient Apparition. Would be so good this game. Oh my god. AA or Zeus, I think, has to come out at some point this game. But AA in particular, man, against Necro and Morphling. If you can somehow find a way to pick AA and Faceless Void this game, oh my goodness. And TNC, or not TNC, 1437 has chosen to ban away the Luna. They ban Undying. Oh my goodness. This would be the sickest AA Void game in the world. Please do it, please do it, please do it, please do it. Tigers really thinking about this one. They have revealed a lot by going for this Necro Morphling so early on. This is a huge portion of their game plan that's revealed. The kind of style they want to play. Don't imagine that they'll be expecting to be split pushing all that much. They ban out the Zeus, so perhaps they want to pick... Well, they ban out the Husker, perhaps they want to pick Zeus for themselves.
remaining.
So Royal Never Give Up. Have to consider
5 seconds.
why Tigers would ban this hero. They probably want Lina again. I think In Your Dream had a pretty solid performance on that. They banned the Crystal Maiden. I really like the Crystal Maiden ban. I really like the Crystal Maiden ban. They saw for themselves how much that hero can just enable Tigers across the board. Taking that away from Zephyr. And he was really good at zoning back the fights. The last thing you want when you're going in with Moonlight Shadow is have to worry about this one channeling spell that destroys everything if used properly.
Remaining. 5 seconds. Dire team pick.
And now Tigers picked the Bane. So it's their first support for them. We're now going to see more from Royal Never Give Up to decide where this Mirana is going. So they could pick right now just the SRF hero. And then see how things go down the line. So let's see. They have still the Axe, they have Centaur, they have the Brewmaster. They have... Who else has been played offlane these days? They have the Tree. We still see Tiny every now and then, but I don't think they're going to go for that. Not really sure you want to pick Ursa here. Not that great versus a Morphling or Necro. We saw Beastmaster the other day being picked, but not a fan. They can pick Batrider into the Necrophos and make sure to match up those two heroes against each other. I think the Tree isn't too bad. Matches up nicely with the Mirana, but the Centaur is even better. I really like Centaur and Mirana together. And hell, this game with Soulcatcher, the damage that comes off between the double edge combination that a Centaur can deal out can really be amped up by the Soulcatcher from the Shadow Demon. What's it gonna be? This is their turn to burn through the vast majority of this reserve time. Maybe they go Enigma. Enigma, Void, one of these two heroes. They definitely need some lockdown though. For both Morph as well as the Necro. I really like Void. Just pick Void. Oh my god. Void is so good versus Morphling. It's a hero that can also buy a Diffusal Blade, so it can be decent against Necrophos as well. If you manage to catch this hero out before he's able to get into the Ghost Shroud, you just remove all his mana, so that's not a possibility at all.
Radiant team pick.
Ah, Drow. Drow. Well, this is one of those games for the Drow. Normally you pick Drow and you just get hard counted in the draft because the enemy team is like, what are you guys doing picking this Drow? We're going to be easily able to exploit that pick. In this game though, not necessarily so much. The three heroes they have at their disposal will have a pretty hard time actually getting atop the Drow without Royal Never Give Up just buffering in their way. This game, as it goes later and later in duration, Drow provides a lot of damage amp to Mirana. There's Bloodlust for both of them as well. And there's not that many heroes that are left in the game that can really and immediately threaten the Drow. Perhaps they can still pick Storm Spirit, but I doubt you want to actually pick Storm in a game versus Mirana, Ogre, Shadow Demon, Drow. There's too many ways to make sure that you can't actually finish off your kill. And having Drow is a silence, which is pretty good against both Necrophos and Morphling with the Gust. And dependent on what hero they pick next for Tigers, I can easily see this hero building Shadowblade this game. I guess if Tigers don't pick Centaur... Actually no, where's this Necro going? I can't really see either Ajit or In Your Dream. Okay, they picked the Tiny. So that's all their course. Tiny is the one X Factor hero that Drow has to worry about now. If you get jumped by Tiny, you die. That's just that simple. Drow will never ever be tanky enough to survive a full burst from Tiny. And if she even approaches that point, by that time Tiny should have an Echo Saber, so yeah, no. It is also additional burst magical damage to enable them to take advantage of the Reaper Scythe. And Tiny can also toss people back towards the rest of his team. They still banned the Centaur, suspecting that this might be a switcheroo from 1437. picking the Tiny, allowing the Royal Never Give Up to be like, oh, they've got Tiny, so let's ban some random support. And then Tigers are like, nah, I'm gonna pick Centaur anyway. And I do still think Centaur is the most dangerous hero they have to worry about on the side of Royal Never Give Up. If they were picking into Tigers, then perhaps they would pick the Centaur themselves, but don't want to take the risk.
5 seconds remaining.
Axe is still in the pool though, so it could still come out, but Axe doesn't have nearly the utility that a Centaur would. So I doubt that Tigers would actually go for that. Well, they still could go for an Axe. But it kind of leaves their draft a bit janky. Like, Centaur would have been perfect. Would have given them so much more initiation. So they ban the Tinker Tanker. Now I would actually love to see from Royal Never Give Up. I would love to see a last pick Legion Commander. In this game, LC, firstly, the press the attack versus Bane versus Tiny. The duel onto Morphling, preventing the ability to just get out easily. Duel onto Necrophos as well, so even if there is a Ghost Shroud, you get to keep the hero in close proximity to enable you to get a kill.
Dire team pick.
Okay, Tigers will be the one that pick Enigma. I guess that's also was an option for RNG to go for Enigma as well, versus the Necrophos and Morphling. And now, but yeah, this is a really rough Enigma game. Every hero in this game right now has a way to cancel the Black Hole. Arrow from Mirana, Fire Blast from the Ogre Magi, Gust from Drow, Disruption from the Shadow Demon.
10 seconds remaining.
So this is a pretty high skill cap for this Enigma. In terms of the Black Hole, he can still play more as a controlling hero. Just build utility items for his team. Also, it seems RNG read the game correctly by banning out the Centaur at the end,
Choose your hero.
ensuring that this is in fact an Enigma in the off lane, it seems. Nice read from them. They could actually put Enigma or Tiny in either position. But nevertheless, good read from RNG. Yep, it's Enigma off lane. Nicely done by Afu there. And Royal Never Give Up get Invoker for the mid lane. So Invoker, Drow, as well as the Mirana. Ogre Magi to back them all up. And Shadow Demon to provide some presence, some disruptions, some demonic purges onto the Necrophos when he goes into ultimate. Not ultimate, rather when he uses the Ghost Shroud. Just demonic purge him. They're still gonna play this. They're gonna put this Necro mid now. They have to, given that they went for this Moon Meander Enigma. This makes me feel quite a bit more confident for the side of Royal Never Give Up. Like, Morphling's gonna, like, this Necro's gonna have an amazing time in the mid lane. Invoker doesn't really do anything against you. I also kind of like the fact that this last pick Invoker is yet another hero that can complicate Moon Meander's life. In terms of him trying to cast black holes. If he doesn't have BKB, there's actually no point casting black hole this game. Like, literally no point. Another positive thing about this last pick Invoker is I absolutely guarantee that this is a game where he's going to go for the Wex build. It's not going to be one of the rarer Exort builds. Man, I love the fact that we can say that. Oh, never mind. I hope he's just doing this early. Because this is the kind of game, as Invoker, if you build the Spirit Vessel, it's also going to be amazing versus the Morphling. So I don't know about this, but we'll see. Personally, I do feel the Wex Invoker would be better here. But he also bought a Null Tally. I don't see a lot of Invokers buying the full Null Tally if they're going Exort. We'll see what he goes for. Maybe it was a misclick at level 1. Dota's a complicated game. Just wanted the Sunstrike most likely. Anyway, we are now getting underway, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2. Tigers going up against RNG for a spot in the grand finals of the Dreamleague Season 10 minor in the off lane for Tigers. Playing support is the Tiny Zephyr for his team. He is going to be backing up in your Dream, who is actually going to be playing the laning Necrophos, because Ajit is the Ersatz mid player for his team. They're playing a sort of EG style where their true position 1 player goes mid, and he's going to be doing that for them. Down towards bottom, we do see that Enigma will be played by Moon Meander. Going to have a pretty rough game, to be honest, and he's going to be supported at bottom by the captain of the team, 1437. Zephyr managed to zone back some heroes, get a bounty. It's going to be a 2-2 trade. RNG 3-4-3 at bottom on the Ogre Magi, able to bully back the Bane Elemental to secure this bounty rune for his team. Monet will be behind him on the Draw Ranger, farming up for his team to try and aid them, assist them with some precision aura damage as that comes out later. XY in the mid lane as the Invoker has SRF playing this Mirana at top, and last but not least Afu on the Shadow Demon. They're deciding where this Mirana should go. I guess they don't exactly want to lane Mirana. Actually, I don't even know how they want to lane this. Who are they more afraid of? I think Mirana is okay in this matchup. I guess they just didn't want to have Bane against Mirana. I don't know. SRF was thinking about dodging. Or maybe it's about protecting Draw. Like, if Draw was in the lane versus the Tiny, it's pretty rough, pretty dangerous for her. I guess a little bit better in this situation. We'll see how it transpires though, how everything pans out. In the mid lane though, one thing to mention, because it's not going to be Necrophos there, XY is going to have a much better time laning against the Morphling than you would against the Necrophos. You can actually win this lane as XY. You can also go hella south, like with just this hero completely out right clicking you with this Agi shift, but we'll see how he does. Give him time. They just started. Let them relax a bit. Bottom we see Monet is going to get bothered by the Braid Sap. Just putting out as much right click as he can with this level 1 Frost Arrows. And at middle, it's coming to pass. Ajit. The Agi shift is too good right now. And Stay is actually... Is he actually going to... We'll see at level 3. He's going to get level 3 just now. Then we'll see what he's actually going to do with this build. If he's actually going to go the Quas Exort. Haven't seen it in so long these days. Ajit actually putting out some pressure onto this Invoker. Actually, let me rescind what I said. This Morphling seems like he's more than a match for the Invoker at mid. Yeah, that's an excellent Invoker. I think it's going to stay this way. He's not going to have the bonus Quas Orbs to keep his HP pool up. Nor will he have access to the Tornado or anything, so it's going to be this Morphling putting out as much pressure as humanly possible out in the top side of the map. In the mid lane. Top, we see Zephyr with In Your Dream. In Your Dream has second most amount of CS in this game thus far. Nicely outpacing SRF. The situation repeats itself at bottom where Enigma outpacing the Draw Ranger with the CS. So everything is really going well for the side of Tigers. In the previous game, they ended up winning even though they had a really rough early game. Mid lane though, we do see Morphling looking for the first blood, just forcing Invoker to back off and salve. In the first game, they ended up winning even though they had a kind of rough laning phase, especially with 3-4-3 playing on his Chen, interrupting everything, going into every lane at different times just to cause more trouble than absolutely necessary. This game, they're winning the lanes, and not only are they winning them, they're winning them handedly. Ajit has a major CS advantage over this Invoker. Invoker's gonna try to get a kill onto Ajit. Threw out the Cold Snap and the Sunstrike was there. But Ajit's just gonna morph strength, should be perfectly fine. That was like the first aggressive play we've seen coming out of XY. Zephyr is gonna get brought down on top. They did get a kill onto the Shadow Demon. Looking to try and bring down SRF as well. One more Death Pulse should do the trick. Or just being chased down, SRF will be forced to leap away. And In Your Dream does not have the Heartstopper aura, so they will not be able to chase down the Mirana. Nice first blood coming in there from Zephyr. The Tiny just doing the most. It seems like everyone on Tigers is having a phenomenal time right now. Invoker has managed to catch up on CS somewhat. So it's more even in that respect. Drow as well. Not doing as bad as she was earlier. As the levels start to come out. And I guess some of the CS would also be some of the Eidolons here at bottom. But it's just gonna stay chilled. It's gonna stay calm. Moon Meander getting chased back. Fire Blast might have put him in jeopardy. 14 is just gonna run up and steal the bouncy room with the Nightmare. Nicely done. Securing 3 for his team overall. Good plays. First of all, Zephyr at top is making sure that In Your Dream. Oh, it's gonna toss him back towards In Your Dream. In Your Dream. Gonna throw out the Death Pulse. They threw out the Starfall, but it's not enough damage as of yet. The tree throw. SRF is gonna get slowed down by the Ghost Shot. They're gonna put him inside the Disruption, but that's actually gonna doom him. Doesn't have another leap charge. Ends up getting brought down. Now Afu, also in dangerous territory of getting brought down, will get a kill before he goes, but will also give away the double kill. And this Necrophos, the highest CS in the game, has 2 kills to his name. Level 5. SRF will come back level 4. And In Your Dream looking very good here. The Wonder Kid himself on the Necrophos. I'm not sure anyone would ever call Necrophos a kid exactly, but you get the idea. Bottom lane, we see Monet was getting gone on. 1437 and Moon Meander. But the Manifestants as well as the Brain Sap do succeed in getting the kill onto that hero. At top, we do see that they maybe kill SRF as well. Forced to leap away from danger. And Zephyr looking to try actually go in behind the trees. They're gonna find the Mirana. Mirana has no more leap available to her. Arrow, she throws it out just to try and escape this, clawing her way through the trees. They're gonna throw a tree at her. And Zephyr says, you wanna hide in the trees? Here's a tree to bury you in the ground. Great kill there from the Tiny. And also the big deal with that kill is that the Mirana has teleport scroll on cooldown for 20 seconds, so it has to do a long walk of shame, sniping one of these hard camp creeps on the way. But this feels very bad. She's level 5. Necro is level 6. Will be closer to level 7 than she is to 6 by the time she gets back to the lane. I mean, that's already true. He might actually have 7 by the time she gets here. She's gonna arrive with the creep wave, so he'll just have to clear that out and we'll hit level 7. So it's pretty crazy. And Mirana doesn't even go towards the lane itself. Just gonna fire an arrow towards the centaur, like I said earlier. Oh, this is so rough. And mid, we also see Ajit. As much as XY has just been able to stay pretty much neck and neck with CS, they're gonna try to dive him right now. Here's Bane Elemental. 1437 is there, and they enable the adaptive strike from Ajit to get the kill onto the Invoker.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Man, this Smurfling. Ajit's just dominating this. Both games actually, he's been doing really, really well. Even game 1, he demolished the Broodmother, playing as his Terrorblade. They're gonna try to get a kill onto SRF. They have the Avalanche, they do have the Toss. Do they have the damage? They do. The Brain Sap enables Zephyr to get one more swing of the tree. And they bash their kitty's face in. In the meantime, we do see that In Your Dream has been steadily working the tier 1 tower in the top lane. Brought it down to half HP. Clearing out these waves. SRF cannot really pitch up here. He's died 3 times this game already.
Top tower is under attack.
And Ajit looking to try and actually add a death onto this Invoker. Is gonna have Afu coming towards him now. But it's much more difficult to kill a Morphling than it is to kill the Invoker. Morphling has the waveform away as well as the attribute shift, so killing him is a tall order indeed. They will be able to at least kill this tier 1 tower though in the top lane. And Your Dream gets that without too much difficulty. Bottom though, they might kill 343. He has been Maleficent down. One more tick will put him in Nightmare distance. They Nightmare him. Do they have the Midnight Pulse? They don't even need it right now. He's surrounded by both heroes. They don't have the Eidolons anymore, but the right clicks should suffice at the end of the day. And they do. 1437 is the one that claims that kill. And Moon Meander does have level 6, but good luck using that spell, buddy. Unless you find someone completely alone, someone as Monet is right now. Very unlikely that you actually find that kill. Speaking of Monet, feels bad, man. Draft not really doing well. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm not sure anybody really feels that bad about this. It's a 5k gold lead 10 minutes into this game. Tigers making the second pick Morphling work out for them. And we see they get a disruption out with an arrow to follow up, going onto the tiny. They want to try and get these bounty runes, but in your dream, make sure to get that for himself. They leap away with SRF. He doesn't end up getting brought down. The shadow poison stacking up onto Zephyr. The dive in from Ajit though. They pop the shrine for Afu. Afu finds himself getting morphed up and the disruption will be there onto him. The Reaper Scythe as well secures the kill. They bring him down. That was such a sick play from the Morphling there. The Shadow Demon transformation enables him to kill the Shadow Demon. That's what Morph's all about. Man, look how farmed this Necro is though. In your dream, he's gonna just build a very early Rod of Atos this game. He's 5.7k net worth when the Invoker is 3.2 and the Drow is 3. He's so far ahead everybody right now. The Hood of Defiance is up. Atos will be shortly to follow. And then what is SRF supposed to do? You can't leap through the Ratos route. Drow. If she gets caught, she's gonna die as well because of how squishy she is. I mean, Monet does at least have level 6 now, so the precision or damage granted is a little bit higher than 4. But we're a long way away before RNG will be able to play this game the way they want to. They've got a lot of catching up to do. None of their heroes have anything. SRF just now picked up the phase boots 12 minutes in. It looks like Stay is actually going to turn back for the Quas Rex bolt. They were just putting the 2 points into Exort. This I definitely agree with. I think you can't play this game without the Spirit Vessel, not against the Morphling. You need some way. It's sort of like playing against Alchemist without Spirit Vessel. You can do it, but probably not going to go well for you.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan doesn't connect onto anybody. Oh, the toss into the Fiend's Grip top lane. They're gonna find SRF. The disruption will be there to save him. Afu. They actually get the kill after the Demonic Purge onto the Beta Elemental. And now the poison of the Soul Catcher onto Zephyr. Zephyr's gonna get silenced out by the Gust. The SRF leaping onto him for good measure, getting revenge. XY is gonna be the one that secures that kill. Nicely done by the side of RNG. They defend the Marana.
Bottom tower is under attack.
It was a very cheeky play. It was pretty cool. Toss into Fiend's Grip, but ends up not working out. Alfu with the saves. We still... What's Enigma been up to? Just been farming with the Sword of Defiance. Trying to get closer to actually buying Blink Dagger. With all the money that he has. I thought I was maybe going to go for like the early Pipe of Insight. Well, Pipe's not that useful. Maybe the early Crimson Guard this game. But reasoning that being able to get into the fight faster is more valuable for my team as it is. Other side of the map, Zephyr is in no man's land. Was just getting out some vision. Perhaps a D-Ward or 2. Will end up losing his life for this one, definitely. Not even gonna bother popping the wand. Recognizing that it's better to save that for another instance. And they're gonna Moonlight Shadow. Bottom lane, there was a black hole, but the disruption was there from Afu to save Monet's life. Monet is still gonna be perfectly fine. Should be able to escape the Midnight Pulse. And now they're gonna turn their attention towards bringing down Moon Meander. Moon Meander will die. XY. Closing the gap, gets off the Spirit Vessel with the Cold Snap. Out onto 1437. EMP turn around upon Ajit. Now wait for me onto the high ground, but the Ghost Walk was there. Ghost Walk stolen and invoked up as well. Reaper side now falling onto the backside of fight onto Afu. In Your Dream has shown up as well. And now they're going to put the Adapter Strike onto 343 after these right clicks. And they get that kill as well. Ajit finds the side of RNG in a precarious situation. Cold Snap going out onto the Morphling. Now it gets gusted. Oh no, but he managed to get off the agility morph. Arrow will fly, will not connect, barely missing. Ajit, such a good player, this guy. Okay, game sounds.
Dire's bottom tower.
And how is that? Is that better for the game sounds?
Regeneration.
So I only saw that message right now, like a few seconds ago. Monet
I shall repay.
is the most farmed hero on his side of the map, but doesn't really mean that much when he's still 1500 gold behind the next closest core on the side of the Tigers. 4 kills for the Necrophos, 0 deaths on Necro or the Morphling. That's pretty amazing actually. And they've got a lot more experience to their side as well. We're seeing that Ajit immediately into the Manta style, the standard build here. A lot of this game hinges on XY and his performance. He needs to open up the map for his team. SRF is not going to be available to make anything happen. Okay, they're going to try and get a kill at top, him as well as 343. The leap bonus damage is helping out a lot. The arrow's going to land with the double starfall, should get them the kill. And that is going to finish the D-Lance. Perhaps they actually try and take this tier 1 tower. It's been in full HP for quite some time. They don't have any tier 1s of their own left. So if they can find an excuse to bring down one of the enemy buildings, will make them very, very happy campers indeed. We do see that there has been a smoke right now from RNG. They're going to try and attack them at their side of the map. We do see Invoker has laid out the Cold Snap onto a Centaur Conqueror. And Zephyr now shows up. They're being railroaded. They're surrounded. SRF is going to get found. There's going to be the Rod of Atos. Feast Grip as well as Reaper side. So they commit everything to get that kill. Which will alert RNG as to the very, very dire need to depart from this area. Black Hole committed onto a Ghost Walking Enigma. 1437. Do they have detection? They do have the Sentry Ward down in this one location, and the Rod of Atos make sure that they also keep the Invoker in that area. Nice Black Hole from Moon Meander. Blink Dagger suddenly just justified its own purchase.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Invoker was almost ready to actually buy a Vitality booster from that. That feels pretty bad. And Tigers, their lead was plateauing and dipping a little bit. But now they're still like, guys, we got this, relax, we're fine. I mean, Monet still lives, right? And Monet still gets to keep farming. And Zhao doesn't remain powerless forever. And she is indeed building the Shadow Blade this game. There's the Spirit Vessel for the Invoker. He's inside the Ghost Walk, and they have smoked up on Afu. Or he just has an Invis rune, actually. They might decide to smoke still. Yeah, they are gonna do it. Are they gonna go for a cheeky Roche play? Looks like they are. They're gonna go for a cheeky Roche play. Oh my god, they're going for a cheeky Roche play. But the pings are there. Tiny Zephyr knows something is up. Yeah, they're all TPing here. They know what's going on. Tigers are like, nah kids, nah. What are you guys doing? They get the D-Ward. They're like, how do they know we're coming? Oh, they probably have vision here. So the D-Ward is there. They will readily scout out that no one's inside the Roshan pit. But RNG, this is not the last slice of the pie that they want to have a crack at here around the Roshan pit. They've smoked up. They're going to try and loop around the side of the Tigers. They know there's a sentry ward that got the kill onto the Invoker earlier, so they can't go that route. But it seems like Tigers are well aware that some kind of move might be happening. They have sentries blocking all the approaches to the area that they're hiding in. They even have a sentry ward behind them. Very good game sense from the side of Tigers, and they sense that there's an opening of space, and they decide to go up into the Roshan pit itself. And now, because they also have the sentry on the high ground, there's so few places that RNG can be approaching from that it seems more or less like a free Aegis. This arrow is going to be a help rather than a hindrance. As soon as they see, oh, draws mid, Aegis hours, thank you.
Breathe it in, breathe it in.
And Ajit now has an Aegis. An immortal Morphling, you know. This puddle of water that can kill you feels bad. Top lane, SRF with XY, they bring down Zephyr, but it feels like Zephyr's been the only one that's dying. He's got 6 of the deaths of his team.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
One other one on the Enigma, one other on the Beta Elemental. Beta Elemental might nab 2 now,
Radiant structures are fortified.
but 1437 is also playing carefully enough that this shouldn't really be a concern. But they still have yet to manage to try and bring down this Necro or the Morphling successfully.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
They just push with some illusions, Siege Dragon, just bring down the tier 2 easily with some Eidolons as well.
Has fallen.
Moonbeander doesn't have a care in the world right now. Gonna try build BKB next. After this Blink Dagger. Hasn't even really needed to be farming that much. SRF has to be careful. Moonlight Shadow will be there. Moonbeander does not have any detection. And they might be able to turn things around. 1437, they're on the wrong side. They don't know exactly where these wards are. 1437 goes in, feeds grip onto the Shadow Demon. EMP with the Spirit Vessel onto Ajit. But SRF is actually makes the wise decision by not deciding to get involved in that fray. He would have found himself desperately in need of HP. Definitely would have died there. Even if he just revealed himself for a moment just to get off the arrow to cancel out the Fiend's Grip. Not a risk that you need to be taking. You can give up this tier 2. That's fine. RG8 will just keep getting bigger. Because Monet suddenly has the same net worth as the Morphling almost. Also about to finish off a Hurricane Pike. Was looking for a kill at bottom with the Shadow Blade. But again, 1437 has just been on point with his movement on this Bane hero. I mean, look at this. He's just parked, waiting for somebody to show their face. It's going to be XY. Ajit moves forward. Gonna get EMP tornado, I guess. Oh, the EMP doesn't connect. And next up, he really badly needs to get that Aghanim Scepter for the Invoker. It's not too far away now. Just 1700 gold. And then he has access to all of his dreams. I might die here though. He will Ghost Walk. They scanned right on top of him. So they must think that he either TP'd out or he's just gone. Immediately they actually planted an Observer Ward. A Sentry rather. And then used the Midnight Pulse on the trees to destroy them. They really wanted you, fam. But be glad, XY, that you managed to escape their treatment. And now XY, there will be a Moonlight Shadow that goes out. They are gonna find, well, yet again Zephyr. It's the 7th time that he goes down here. And Tigers stopped carrying around maybe time 2. A lot of ATOS will connect onto 343 and they're going to be able to easily blow him up with the adapter strike.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That was such a hard hit. My goodness. How much damage did it actually do? Let's see. Did 600 damage. I mean, that's great, right? We do see SRF is trying to post up to perhaps steal the upcoming bounty runes, but knows that this is a very dangerous proposition for him. Should just keep farming with this DD. And they do see Ajit. Look how far, and immediately he gets away. He's like, nope, 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 nope. I want nothing to do with this. Monet is managing to keep up with this Necro, but not necessarily with the Smurfling. He is going to Shadow Blade up. And who is going to get this? They're going to wait for Zephyr to come down. They spring the trap. It's going to be Monet being able to secure this kill. The Reaper Scythe will fly out. Oh no, gets interrupted by the cost of the disruption. Now Afu, they're turning their attention towards In Your Dream. In Your Dream, a lot of ATOS going out onto the Ogre Magi. Arrow will connect onto him after he gets brought down, and they will be able to get that kill. Moonmeander now in trouble. Going to get brought down by SRF. Who just gets right next to him and right clicks him into Oblivion. What just happened? Over the bounty rune here at bottom, Tigers throw away 3 of their lives. The 3k gold lead suddenly been slashed in half. Seems to be the trend for these games. And they're just gonna push onto this tier 2 tower at bottom. See the Fiend's Grip now flying out onto the Ogre. Arrow will be forcing 1437 to duck away lest he gets stunned in the face. So he has to cancel out the Fiend's Grip. RNG now. Finally do have the Aghanim Scepter for the Invoker. So they'll have a lot more versatility in his movement around the map and as well as in his fights. Excuse me. Which will also enable the Drow Ranger to not have to focus as much on absolutely having to catch the Morphling inside the Gust. The Deafening Blast will do. They're all gonna smoke though for the side of the Tigers. They want to accomplish something on the map right now. Moonmeander does have Black Hole. Root will go forward, catches Monet, but it goes invis on the high ground. And Tigers probably know their lead isn't as substantial as it once was, so you can't afford to make any extremely and extravagantly greedy plays. Moonmeander, Blink, BKB, the big tools that he feels he needs to be able to get off these black holes that win these fights. Ajit is probably going to be going for the Eye of Skadi now after finishing this BKB. It's a fresh one, so very few fears available for him. In Your Dream as well. Still looking to get off that Force Staff after finishing off the Blink Dagger as well as the Rod of Ados.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I love how Afu just runs immediately and gets the D-wards off. And he's like, what's going on here, guys? What are you doing? Has a gem already on the Shadow Demon.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Understands that, well, I don't really want to play this kind of game where we lose just because we have no vision.
Radiant are scanning.
And this time it looks like it's going to be the turn of RNG to start a game ostensibly from behind and yet pull it through regardless. With Monet building BKB ahead of everybody except the Morphling, and the gold lead they have for Tigers only being 1,000 gold. Marginal at best.
scanning.
But we haven't seen a large scale fight break out in quite some time. So both teams still seem to be chilling, biding their time, waiting for that to happen. SRF did finish the full Mjolnir and has been using that to farm across the map. Look at how tight the grouping of farm is on all these core heroes. Very, very close game. Invoker and Mirana both trying to buy themselves some Lincoln Spheres. Nobody wants to get Reapered or Fiends Ripped. They don't have that many spells that they can cancel with. I mean, they have Adaptive Strike and the Enfeeble, which I guess are somewhat throwaways, as well as the Nightmare. But blocking Malefistan, blocking Reaper Scythe, blocking Rod of Atos, it's all good stuff.
Surprises, mother. Coin for me.
My waters rise.
Well, that Moon Knight Shadow doesn't get anything, unfortunately. Although now, because of the insane Agi boost from level 18 on the Drow, all these range heroes are starting to hit like trucks. Plus 670 damage. Oh my goodness. $70 damage is like a lot, guys. Roche is back online, so this is going to be the next point of attrition for both teams. They've entrenched themselves on opposite sides of the river. Tier 1 tower mid does get denied by Moon Meander. And each time that Titan or the Tigers put a creep inside the Roshan pit, it's going to immediately get denied by it being taken away by this Mirana. We're looking to get off a kill very early here onto this Shadow Demon, who managed to, not onto Shadow Demon, onto a Bane Element. So Shadow Demon is the one that set that up. Shadow Poisons flying inside the Roshan pit. Although Ajit, the compromise between damage and survivability is a hard one.
Bottom tower is under attack.
DC backs out of the fight, they get a disruption out. Black Hole only catches out onto the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon actually, they're gonna get the kill onto Moon Meander with sheer right clicks coming in from SRF. Ajit going falling very low. Monet putting in the damage from the high ground as the Drow Ranger. Jesus. The physical damage from Monet and SRF. My goodness. It was mostly Monet then. 2,800 damage. Absolutely shredded that Invoker. And at the same time, XY wasn't even present, so just pushing out this bottom tier 2. Manages to get it for his team. Monet goes top as well to help defend. And oh my goodness, Royal never give up. Living up to their name. And again, this speaks to the troubles that Enigma's going to have this game. That's never going to get any easier. And if you'd caught Drow, Drow could have maybe been disrupted by the Shadow Demon. It can be Moonlight Shadows. It's just so difficult, this game, to actually make actionable use of these black holes that occur. XY is bottom. Oh, they're gonna get the disruption out onto Moon Meander. Moon is gonna get brought down. There's gonna be a Nightmare to try to save his life. The damage has been juggled off on the Nightmare. And here comes Monet. They gust back onto the Necrophos, who yules us up the Shadow Demon. Running back is 343 on the high ground. Zephyr the jump in. They find Afu. They cause a dieback on the Shadow Demon. And they keep Moon Meander alive. Royal never give up. Running away from the Rod of Atos. Arrow thrown out by SRF. Oh, actually, they get the stun onto the Bane. I think all they want to do is create space. They're trying to delay and delay and delay and create space for this Invoker, who's taking down the tier 3 tower. So RNG. This Invoker play. Now XY suddenly can buy the ultimate orb, not very far away from having the full-on Lincoln Sphere for his team. 1437 will be able to kill 343, but because it's just the Ogre, no way they can feel confident about going into Roche right now. Especially because they know what they just see at bottom, that XY is perfectly happy to stick around here. He actually has more points into the X-Swords just to be able to do this maneuver with the Fire Forge Spirits.
Radiant are scanning.
Both teams just checking to see if the other is within Roshan. It is negative for both teams. Do we have any level 20s yet? Let's see. 2 on Drow as well as the Morphling. 1437 plants an observer ward mid. It's going to get instantly dewarded at the next available opportunity. Drow at 20. Ah, she went for the additional marksmanship. I thought this game she might have gone for the plus 3-second gush. But the gush might not be that useful, I suppose. Or maybe she just wants to have more damage. It's like, whatever. The gust only really helps if we have the damage anyway. So rather just get the damage straight off. We can't argue with the logic that gives everyone 79 damage, right? Erstwhile the Morphling Ajit has chosen to go in for the waveform attacks targets. But let's see how they're able to take this next fight. The Moonlight Shadow will fly out here. We haven't seen them actually get into some fisticuffs in a bit of time, but it seems like with the Enigma here down at bottom, I feel like actually RNG have the natural advantage. If they don't have to be worried. Oh, nice deny. Look at this. You guys see that play? RNG was using illusions to try to deny the observer ward here. So what they do on the side of Tigers is they use up the offending illusion, plant another sentry so they can deny the other sentries from RNG and still protect the presence of their observer ward. Oh, very nice touch from them.
Mine at last.
Oh, we do see that they find 343 again. Zephyr seems to have caught them out with a blink dagger. This is such a bizarre game because now the Golden Deer is actually in favor of RNG. It's only this Morphling that's keeping things alive for Tigers. He's continued to accelerate. Oh, bottom lane, we do see XY. Looking towards the Enigma. Enigma will turn. BKB, Black Hole. And here comes the damage after the toss onto the Invoker. And Moon Meander more than happy to commit the Black Hole as well as his BKB for that one. That presumably gives them the Aegis, unless of course Invoker should buy back. Which I think you actually have to consider buying back here. Not that you can't win 2 fights. But how far is he from his next item? Actually almost has the Lincoln Sphere. So maybe you don't. I don't know. We're gonna find 1437 very quickly though. And now arrow. Oh no, the arrow. The arrow was found in your dream. They're gonna be able to kill the Necrophos so quickly on it. Now there's no black hole. Ajit now going into his BKB form, turning onto Monet. He's running underneath a sentry wall, but can they kill him before he gets out of range of the sentry? No, they can. Ajit now with this BKB is just too damn strong. There's gonna be buybacks from both Invoker as well as the Drow Ranger. They want to keep taking this fight. Buyback there from the Ogre Mage as well. So 3 buybacks from RNG. If Monet had just kept running, he would have lived. The Sentry Ward range had finished. Oh my god, that's 3 buybacks. Because they bought back on the Invoker as well. Only a single buyback from the side of the Tigers for the Necrophos, but can they exploit this nonetheless for RNG? They'll smoke immediately as they pick up this Lincoln Sphere for this Morana. Monet will walk past the Moonlight or the Midnight Pulse. They need to finish this as soon as humanly possible. They're gonna leap into the pit. They're gonna get it. Monet will pick up the Aegis. SRF will grab the cheese. Maybe they give it to XY now. The Fire Blast double going on to In Your Dream. Fire Blast will be there as well. And they won't keep trying to go. Moon Meander blinked into the trees. Will find himself getting EMP'd. And the Reaper Sight will apply onto 343. So we're going to put him in the grave for 2 minutes. You'll Scepter up into the air for SRF. SRF going to try to turn around with the damage. And Ajit blinks forward. BKB active from him. He's going to try to do as much damage as possible. Afu will disrupt the Morana, but the Avalanche will be there immediately as the disruption ends. And that shall be a kill for the Tigers, bringing down the SRF Morana. Zephyr also gets a Yule Scepter during all of this. So yet another way to interrupt the enemy. They at least do get their Lincoln Sphere now on Invoker as well, but I kind of think both Invoker, especially Morana, needs BKB instead. BKB I think would have made a much bigger difference than the Lincoln Sphere, given how that engagement went. Also, man, they need a way to deal with Ajit. This guy, once he has his BKB active, is basically unstoppable. The duration is going to keep decreasing. We're down to 7 seconds, so they don't have an unlimited amount of time where he's just a god on the map. Eventually, mortality catches up to all of us. We've hit 40 minutes now, so the double spawn of the action runes is coming up. The DD rune at bottom for the moment. Monet is going to pick this one up. Oh my goodness, what if he gets a haste rune now? That would be so great. Oh, Monet, get out, get out, get out! Oh no, he's going to get Nightmare. Tornado will be there, catching 2 heroes. Disruption does come out onto the Drow Ranger. Arrow flies through. They're going to be able to Hurricane Pike down Monet. Rod of Atos will be there. BKB popped by the Drow Ranger. And they use part of this Deafening Blast to push some heroes back. And SRF throwing out some DD hits onto Moon Meander, bringing down the Enigma to about half HP. But there shall be no securement of this kill. As far as things go, Monet should be happy with that. How many bounties did they get? He got the DD, they lost 3 bounty. They lost all the bounty runes though. But he lived. But he lived. Would have been a disaster if he died. We do see now Invoker XY is starting to slip a little bit in the overall farm rankings. Been outstricken once more by the Necrophos. And your Dream now is looking towards building up the Shiva's God. Once he has that finished, he also got the... I'm actually kind of surprised he got the magic resist. Not that much magic damage from the side of RNG, but still rather safe than sorry, I suppose. Now he's going to take basically no magic damage. So Starfall and most of Invoker spells don't do anything anymore. But the Shivas I find particularly interesting if he's able to get a top SRF. SRF and Monet. Monet might be a little bit more difficult because Monet is just sitting so far back. Monet almost has the butterfly. The Drow did buy back previously, so she is going to choose to take the risk of finishing this item. They're going to smoke as a unit. They're going to try and find someone. But perhaps just getting out some vision on their side of the map. I think they lost the gem earlier, right? Who's carrying it now? It's being carried by Moon Meander. But they got a different one. XY has one as well. Moon did eventually buy these Crimson Gods. Next shall be the Guardian Greaves.
Regeneration.
So now we're at that stage of the game now, where the primary and important thing for Tigers to be able to accomplish is, firstly, not only do they need a way to be able to consistently get Moon Meander to commit Black Hole onto either the Invoker or the Drow Ranger, they need to do so with the BKB active and catching and in some way dealing with the Shadow Demon, right? If they can do that, I actually think they can win. As long as actually you control Shadow Demon, I think you can win most fights right now if you're Tigers. This Tiny is becoming like a quad core for them. Just in terms of the sheer magical output that he puts into this game. Tigers moving around the map right now. They're smoked, they can't find anything, so they shall not succeed. They're gonna be quid pro quoed. They're going to be quid pro quoed, lol, by this Moonlight Shadow being made use of by SRF. Looks like RNG just been using this Aegis to sort of stabilize their team and the gold that they have lost earlier.
From the core of the universe, a treasure.
RNG really don't want to lose this game. We do finally see the E-Blade for the Shadow Demon. I worry though, or the Morphling rather. I worry though about them. What happens once they get to level 25 on the Shadow Demon and they get the double disruption, which is monstrous late game. Like, oh my god, double disruption is so crazy. Let's say you disrupt Morphling and you disrupt Drow as well. You disrupt Drow just for the damage, and then you also get a allied disrupt. Oh, he's going Ag, so he might be going for the additional demonic purge damage. Because yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of insane. Arrow from Marana just to scout out who might be hanging around the bounty rune at bottom.
The prize is mine.
They're going to be able to get 2 at least for both sides. Very, very close game this one yet again. So this is the correct contest. 2 teams evenly matched up. Okay, there's going to be a disruption onto the Enigma, but unfortunately there's no angle for the arrow to fly out from the Marana. They're going to try and TP out on the Shadow Demon, and they're going to succeed. Bane couldn't get the vision. Erstwhile, Ogre going to get bursted down. Not even time for a Reaper Scythe. Morphling's basically 6 out now, right? Yeah, he's going to get Satanic and then he's done. Well, he can still convert the Power Treads to Butterfly and use that as his attack speed item, as well as his movement speed item. But for all intents and purposes, this man is now capped out. And let's see what kind of defense they can mount off this mid lane. The Aegis has expired quite some time ago, so they only have the cheese on Monet to protect them for the time being. This Drow, she's invis on the high ground. There's an Observer Ward here, which is going to scout out a lot of what's happening once she comes out of invis. But unless they catch both her as well as the Shadow Demon, unlikely that the Black Hole finishes without any repercussions, so they just back away. Anybody who watches Naruto, doesn't this guy Enigma look right now with the skin exactly like Toby? He's exactly like Toby. Morphling will now finally have the full Satanic. Crazy strong. How do they indeed control this Morphling? Roche is going to be quite some time away. 90 seconds. So standard Roshan respawn. Both teams are going really out of their way to just avoid one another. So we are getting closer to have those 25s. Ajit got the multi-shot adaptive strike, so whew. Yeah, that. Wonder in your dream not there just yet. And the Drow Ranger did indeed get the additional cooldown reduction. So opted out of getting the additional damage from the Precision Aura. Probably reasoning that they have damage. Damage is not the problem now. But having a 6.5 second gust, when gust has a 6 second duration, so 0.5 second downtime on your silence, very, very good. And it affects the timing and the cooldowns of your other items that you have. They're gonna pop the Moonlight Shadow now. Is there still no BKB from Marana? Jeez. Went for the Hurricane Pike instead. Doesn't Voka have BKB? No, he does not. So there's only... Are there only 2 BKBs this whole game? Yeah, just for the Morphling and the Drow. That's hilarious. Another great thing about Drow having this 50% cooldown reduction is that it affects the Shadow Blade too. So now there's only a 4 second downtime. Wait, no, there's no downtime. Because it's 14-14, yeah. There's no downtime at all. So you get to be invis forever, basically. Sadly, there's not much purpose towards buying the Silver Edge this game. I mean, I guess it can reduce the overall damage of the Morphling. But you'll have to get it like Ant's Chain Stun him. It's complicated, man. Morphling does not have a Lincoln Sphere though, so they still have a chance to be able to burst this hero down. They're gonna try for it now. They finally do smoke. RNG. They disrupt Monet first and foremost.
Are scanning.
They're gonna try loop around on the opposite direction. They spot out Tigers. The smoke's break in both directions. Ajit waveforms in. They're going to be able to burst down the Shadow Demon almost immediately. Moon Meander with the black hole on the backside of the fight. They Nightmare onto the Ogre Major. And now they're going to find the kill onto Drow. Monet is the cheese. Able to stay alive for now. Rod of Atos will be there, slowing her down. There's going to be a tornado, but the Reaper side brings the Drow Ranger into the ground. 170 seconds in the grave, so buyback immediately. RNG will at least be able to salvage the Ogre Magi, though. He's able to leave the field of battle with his life intact. And they're also gonna buy back on the SD. Man, the damage from Tigers. That was a good black hole from Moon Meander. Recognizing that just one hero is enough sometimes. SRF leaping back opposite directions. They're gonna pop the Moonlight Shadow. Dust will be used. Arrow thrown by Ajit after morphing into the Marana. He's still leaping forward. We'll be able to get the Starfall out onto this creep wave, though. Adapter strike hitting everybody. But they don't have a chance to get on top of this Morphling. Unfortunately, they don't have a Stampede to use in tandem with this Marana Moonlight Shadow. But Roche is still on the line. We are 50. It took 50 minutes, but we finally are there. The exact point where RNG were before when they were ahead. 11k gold lead in favor of the Tigers. Ajit gonna be joined at the top of the net worth berth by Moon Meander, who has Guardian Greaves, 5k gold in the bank, Crimson Guard, Helm of the Dominator, a BKB, and a Gem of True Sight. Not to mention the Blink Dagger being available. Got the additional damage on the Eidolons. That's actually kind of interesting. I guess he realizes that like 500 health is like a couple of extra attacks on Drow. His job is to get the Black Hole into crucial heroes. Doesn't have to worry himself about necessarily being like, okay, I always and at every single situation have to be getting out a long duration Black Hole, catching everybody in it for the whole time. Even 1 or 2 seconds of stun will do for the most part. Arrow now flying out into Roche. Ajit has to be careful now. He is going to be down to a 5-second BKB after his next charge. Necro gets the additional Heartstopper aura. That's actually interesting. Let's see what kind of impact this has this game. Moonlight Shadow is used now. You see the Avalanche bringing down these Fort Spirits. Roshan falling very, very low. They move in through the mid lane. They throw an arrow. There's still a sentry ward down towards mid. Gus does catch the Morphling. The Fire Blast from 343 onto Zephyr on the backline. Zephyr being forced off onto the high ground, but they bring down 343 eventually. Ogre will buy back immediately. They're just trying to delay as much as possible. Arrow now catches the Morphling, but they're going to go into SRF with the Avalanche toss combination. The Cataclysm though will come out from the Invoker, bringing everybody low, but they get the Guardian Greaves of keeping the Morphling alive. They're going to wait for him in. There's going to be a Reaper side as well, almost bringing on the Disruption. Will be there to save. There's going to be a Black Hole that doesn't catch on anybody. Monet was saved by the Disruption. EMP now made use of by the Invoker. They bring down Zephyr. Gus catching several heroes. Monet going ham on the backlines, managing to bring down the Morphling. Morphling will have to buy back immediately. SRF will die too, will also buy back, and they bring down... Well, they brought down the Tiny earlier. They're going right back into the Roshan pit. Tigers really want to take this. They know that there's no easy angle of attack for the side of RNG. The Morphling will be able to claim the Aegis. Arrow does connect now onto the Enigma. There's no more Cataclysm to use. Afu with the demonic conversion onto some of these heroes. But Morph brought back, but they gave him the Aegis. Level 25 right now. Still... And after all of that, even after spending all that money on buyback, because buyback is really not cheap at this stage of the game, still has 4k gold left in the inventory. Has actually chosen to backpack his E-Blade in favor of having this Aegis. The multi-shot arrows now flying through from the Marana. She has cracked the 25. Invoker not yet at that lofty place. Still en route. And how's the Enigma not there yet, even though it has this much HP as well as farm? But Zephyr is there. That's actually kind of weird. The Tiny has the triple toss. The Morana has the triple arrow. The Drow has the cooldown reduction. The Morphling has the triple adaptive strike. What's up with the triples in Dota? 55 minutes into this game. RNG with their backs against the wall. A single loss will send them tumbling into the loser bracket, where a resurgent Na'Vi awaits them there to try and put them in the grave and mount their own challenge to take down whoever awaits them in the finals, if it is going to be Tigers. But RNG, not out of this just yet. They're going to secure some more bounty runes. And look what they're doing at middle. They're going to try and just push this out, but the disruption is so annoying because if they get these disrupted Morphling illusions, it's insane. Can't deal with them. This is the power of this late game Shadow Demon, man. And at some point we'll still have the double charges of the disruption as well. Tornado flying forward. Ooh. Looks like they're not able to do anything just yet with this Morphling, with this Aegis. Still has it for another 2.5 minutes. Morana now will finally finish this dateless she's been trying to build forever. And oh, look at that. We're going to have an hour plus BKB coming into this game. That's going to be incredible. Monet also looking to build a dateless. Can't believe we haven't even seen a single Rax fall this game. Only a tier 3 tower against Tigers. They have yet to bring one down themselves. Besides having this absurdly OP Morphling. They're doing their best to control the tempo around the map. You see that they're leaving this Invoker, not the Invoker, the Tiny, down at bottom to keep this push going. And he's got the TP boots, so if they sense that there might be a fight breaking out, because they also have these Eidolons available, there's always going to be an easy way for Tiny to actually get involved in the fight. And they're doing this to make sure that the moves that XY was pulling earlier, by just staying posted up at bottom and continually pushing out this wave, aren't available to him now. Does have a Hex sitting on him. 15k gold lead for Tigers. Experience 10,000. They're going to finally Moonlight Shadow. Are they going to try to take an engagement here? There's sentry wards everywhere that should be able to scout out what they're trying to do. So I don't know the purpose of the Moonlight Shadow actually. Aghanim Scepter now picked up by Moon Meander. This is actually really good, because this applies the Midnight Pulse atop your Black Hole, and because they also went for getting this Heartstopper aura for In Your Dream, they have a lot of percentage based damage going out quite quickly. And now here comes Tiny. They know that the fight's gonna break out, and they have to get back very soon. Lotus Orb is out onto Ajit, tossing back the Ignite as well as the Adaptive Strike. E-Blade Gust does come out onto the Morphling, and they were looking to toss forward the Enigma, but they don't get it going properly. And XY is gonna use this as his opportunity. Go for Spirits, go. Go for Spirits. Ajit does manage to get the tier 3, but they lose the draw Bane. Oh no, Ajit gets stunned and they're gonna look for to kill him. The Fire Blast is on him. The BKB Black Hole is onto 2 heroes, but they get the disruption out to save the Draw Ranger, so there's just not enough damage to actually get the kill onto her. And the Deafening Blast now managing to bring down Ajit. That's the first life. Zephyr now will lose his own. And can they get the Gust out onto the Morphling? Morphling does get gusted up. The Black Hole will miss because of the Hurricane Pike. Moon Meander forced to cancel the Tornado. Now will cap directly onto Ajit. Doesn't have access to the BKB anymore. There will be a Meteor that catches him on the face, as well as the Silence. Monet with the triple kill. This Draw Ranger is on a tear right now. They're looking for Moon Meander. They will find him too. Moon buys back immediately, but RNG didn't even lose a single hero throughout all of that. The disruption from Afu, saving the Drow in the midst of the Black Hole, putting Enigma into the most awkward position ever. And that was the Aghanim's Black Hole too. 90 seconds until Morphling is back into the game. 80 seconds without Zephyr. Another 80 seconds before we have Reaper Scythe. Another 100 until we have the Black Hole again.
How will they hold? Moon Meander used the refresher shot there as well. And this is an Alacrity Drow Ranger dealing almost 700 damage. Jesus Christ. This is so insane with the Bloodlust attached as well. And look how much damage is going to come out here. The Rax going to be in jeopardy. Monet also has a double damage rune. Whew. This is just crazy amounts of damage. They're going to get at least 2 lanes of Rax. It might end up being the game. The second lane will now fall. The mid lane is going to be in jeopardy. It's going to get taken away. They're going to go for the win. They recognize there's no buyback available. And now RNG. Literally a carbon copy, rinse, repeat of game 1. The team that's ahead loses a single fight and then suddenly loses their base. And we see Tigers. Refresher Orb was used by Moon Meander. There's one more Black Hole available. One more Hail Mary. Can he make this happen? Moon Meander gets the Black Hole out onto X, but it's too late. The damage is too high. GG, well played. Oh my goodness. Royal never give up. They live up to their name. They secure that victory, and good grief, good gosh, both of these teams very clearly want to be in the grand finals. Very clearly want to have a shot at going to Kuala Lumpur. Because what topsy-turvy games we're having. Look at this again. Cresting, Tigers doing well. They fall dramatically. Goes back the opposite direction. Then they fall even harder. This is incredible. Just, I have no words. Ladies and gentlemen, that was game 2. Tigers versus Royal Never Give Up. Game 3 coming soon. And we'll finally have a winner. We'll have a deciding matchup. It's been incredibly long games in both directions. Let's see what game number 3 brings us. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Game 3 between these two sides here in the Season 10 of Dream League. Coming at you in just a moment. This will determine who will go as the grand finalist into the final day of Dream League tomorrow. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. It's coming up in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back just in time. We're going to be getting into the third game here of our matchup between the sides of RNG as well as Tigers in the Dreamleague Minor here in the upper bracket final. This is the final game. This is it. The last... Oh, sweet. The last hurrah for both sides. After this, we will have a grand finalist and we will have the remnant of the lower bracket finalist. Either way, it is going to be a cracker. A cracker. Game 1 was some 48 minutes long. Was crazy. Game 2 was an hour long. So now game 3, ladies and gentlemen, will be getting underway between Tigers and Royal Never Give Up. And lots of interesting things to talk about. Lots of interesting lanes. The most important and most interesting, I think, is going to be the mid lane. I don't remember the last time I've seen OD. Like, I'm actually searching my memory to think when was the last time I saw that hero, and I can't think of it now. I legit can't remember the last time I saw Outworld Devourer. Oh my gosh. It's only one of my favorite heroes. And also, interestingly enough, they're putting Moon Meander on the Tiny. Seen less and less of this hero in the position 3 for quite some time. Although this game they do have some easy setup through the OD, being able to throw out the Astral Imprisonment, making it quite simple for the Light Strike Array to connect onto a hero. Another complication that's present, I think, for the side of Tigers is eventually damage. They're going to be relying a lot on Ajit to be able to deal the damage for their team. Because without him, if let's say In Your Dream doesn't have a decent game, going to need to get a very early Hurricane Pike here. I do really like this Monkey King as well. I think Monkey King, it's weird with Monkey King, right? Because Monkey King can excel versus PL, but also if PL gets too far ahead of Monkey King, then Monkey King is screwed. You can't even use Wukong's command. Because you'll use the Wukongs and then PL will just stand around you and hit you anyway and say, what are you doing, kid? What are you doing, child? So MK, it's going to be pretty exciting to see what he's going to be able to get up to here in this matchup. Another pretty cool thing is that we get to see another Chinese classic. We haven't seen a Chinese DK quite some time. Monet, in fact, used to play on a team with the best DK player of all time, Super. XY is going to be rolling around with that one. SRF will be playing the Centaur. I'm finally glad we get to see it. Just some superstar picks all around. Alfu's playing Wind Ranger. He used to like own on Fnatic with this hero. Not on Fnatic, on LFY, sorry. It was one of those things where you're like, damn, if this guy's playing Wind Ranger, it can get kind of scary. Also, DJ on Fnatic is a god on Wind Ranger. So I guess, didn't the two of them play on a team once at a time? Oh no. They got Monet at bottom. Oh no. Monet going down on the Monkey King very early on. Feels bad, man. So the MK won't be too happy about that kind of stuff. 3-4-3 will at least block the creep wave for him as he's coming out onto the lane. I'm gonna let it run ahead of him for a bit. You know, whatever. I guess they don't want Monkey King to TP in case they need to lane swap this. So you're gonna try and play as safe as possible. Zephyr is gonna be the harasser. Moon Meander already has the true grab at level 1 on his Tiny. Gonna use this. Should be able to get most of this wave for free, given that the Monkey King isn't even here to help deny. At mid, In Your Dream, OD, I guess, does okay versus DK. But DK will always have access to the Breathe Fire, especially after he has the Soul Ring. So, you know, you can Arcane Orb him as much as you want, steal everything you want, but Breathe Fire will always be Breathe Fire. I suppose that the Breathe Fire doesn't affect the additional damage coming in from the Arcane Orb. So, in that sense, they can counteract it in that way, but not that big a deal. At top, we see the Wind Run was used by Alfu just to put out some right-click damage onto 1437, but he's got Decay, so Decay is low-key OP in the laning phase, so it's chilled. And Ajit is just farming on the PL. I don't expect to see any kills here top. Between Windrun and Hoofstomp, as well as Doppelganger, yeah. Unless Afu gets off a really sick shackle shot, allowing them to get the chain disable, I don't see anybody actually dying here in the top lane. Even though SRF is going to be very annoyed versus this Undying, given that you're going to have all his strength stolen by the decay. But they're really pressuring 1437 though. He still does have the magic stick charges as well as 2 mangoes, so doesn't have to worry about running out of mana just yet. He'll still have a way to keep himself propped up in the mid lane XY versus the Undying, or the OD rather. Losing some of his mana, or most of it so far, but Soul Ring will come. Soul Ring will come. I wonder if this is a bottle game for him, or if he feels it's just fine as it is. Top lane, we did see the Spirit Lance was thrown forward by Ajit just to get some farm. SRF is threatening the Hoofstomp here, gets it out onto 1437, and they also throw out the power shot. 1437, need to be careful. Doesn't have, has a mango to use for one more decay. He has to watch out though. If this power shot, oh, they should have saved the power shot. They could have actually killed this Undying. He's gonna die now. He's gonna soul ring himself to stay alive. And one more decay. Oh. This is so annoying. But now he's gonna have to go deny himself somewhere. Doesn't have any heal left. So gonna, if he takes himself up by the creeps, oh, blocked. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. And they blocked this. They didn't block it, but they just walked past there. So 1437 is gonna take a bit of time to deny himself, which gives space towards SRF to just sit around Ajit. We're not gonna watch it deny, guys. What the hell? XY in the mid lane, still keeping up with CS quite handedly with the OD. Two of them just trading somewhat. OD does get lucky and pick up a regen run. Man, it's XY, I feel so bad, man. All your intelligence is gone, bro. If he actually gets hit one more time, he wouldn't even be able to cast Breathe Fire. That's hilarious. I think 2 more times it'll take. But yeah, a couple of more and he wouldn't be able to cast Breathe Fire, which is really funny. Even if he had a Soul Ring. So maybe that explains why he's not even bothering to buy it. Bottom. You do see Monet struggling a lot here against Moon Meander. Seems like that early death had an effect. Had them starting off the lane in a bit of a disadvantageous situation. And the team is paying for it somewhat. Top lane. Afu runs away with the wind run. Just harassing still. Doing his thing. Just do your thing, Afu. Wow, that decay. Gonna be forced to heal up with the Fairy Fire, but not gonna be enough to stay alive. The Soul Rip from 1437 gets the kill onto the Wind Ranger. And at bottom, they're gonna contest around this 5-minute bounty rune. Light Strike Array will connect onto 343 as well as the Avalanche, but they see it's a Monkey King, yo. With more than one level into the Jingu Mastery, you don't want to tangle with this. And now Monet's gonna use the space to get a little bit of CS, a Denial too. As Monkey King is actually doing fine. Might have died earlier, but now also has a little bit of space away from the Ogre Magi to make sure he gets level 4. And Tiny has a little bit of way to go before making that happen. So pretty happy times. Happy vibes. Top lane. 1437 might have to deny himself again soon. Afu's not connecting a lot on these power shots. Lol, he must be so upset right now to notice that like there was still a bounty rune. So he'll be able to get a kill off of that at least. With the shackle shot finding 1437. And this Wind Ranger will pick up the other bounty rune at least. So in the grand scheme of things, it might be better that she didn't end up landing the previous one, in order to be able to get that last CS. And now we see the toss. They throw back the Ogre Magi towards the Tion Tower. R343 throw out the Bloodlust onto Monet, but there's no creeps around him that he can juggle aggro off of himself with. And will end up going down. Otherwise, at top, we do see SRF is forcing back Ajit in such a way that Ajit can't really farm as freely as he was able to at the beginning of this laning matchup. He's being outstripped right now in the overall CS by more or less the same margin as we see the DK being outstripped in the mid lane, who's actually being forced to jungle right now. In Your Dream. I'll be honest and say I'm not certain that this is a purely character and hero based matchup. I think also In Your Dream has just been well, it hasn't been In Your Dream playing mid primarily. It's been Ajit, and Ajit's been putting the screws out onto XY, so maybe just not having the best day in the mid, XY. But he's actually been doing fine. It's just the early lanes falling a little bit behind on CS. He's still okay though. He's a level behind the OD, but what can you do? Top lane, Ajit on a doppelganger away from trouble. SRF was very close to be able to finding the double edge. But Ajit will get towards the tier 1 tower, pop a salve, stay alive. We will be coming up on 8 minutes shortly, and I think soon we're probably going to see one of the first smoke ganks from either of these teams. 343 is perhaps going to try and drag the creep wave to meet them. After this wave, we'll see. This OD is going to have a phenomenal game. It's level 8 already. Has the most CS in the game. Completely free lane for him to farm here. Not even feeling the pressure. Forced the DK out, as I said before. I mean, DK almost has power trails, but as soon as he shows up to lane, In Your Dream just does that, just runs at him, building up intelligence. And DK knows that tanky as he may be, there will come a point where he's taken so much intelligence stacks stolen from him that a single Sanity's Eclipse can still bring him down. Your armor be damned, so he has to be really wary. This is so annoying. You just show up, you hit once, and you don't have any mana for anything. It sucks, man. It's like, oh my god, are you seeing this, guys? This is the most garbage thing in the world. Well, OD will buy some power trades now. Quite dominant in this game thus far. Monet is given some reprieve at bottom because the Tigers lineup went to pop the shrine. Moon Meander topped up on HP, coming back bottom. Has a tree in his hand, level 5. But there's almost level 6 now for Monet. And this level 3 Boundless Strike means that it's no longer possible for them to actually decide to go onto him. Tombstone was committed at top, 1437. Helps ensure that they get this kill onto the Wind Ranger. It's 4-1 as the kill score, so it seems that the Tigers, I mean, it's an okay start, right? They're getting the gold everywhere. Everyone's getting some farm. The only lane that seems to be going really, really well for the Tigers is this mid lane where OD is having a phenomenal time versus DK. Outpacing him by 500 gold, which is a lot at this early mid stage. But even then, it's sort of offset by the fact that SRF at top is about 700 gold ahead of the Phantom Lancer. So this PL is going to have a little bit slower of a beginning to his game. And Monet will get there slightly sooner than he will. Not that much sooner though. Not enough that it's going to make a concrete difference in the way this game plays out. It all depends on who rotates around the map first. And a lot depends on when Moon Meander finds the Blink Dagger. A very tight game so far. Everybody within small degrees of freedom of one another in terms of their overall net worth. Oh, nice pullback from Monet. We do hear smoke. RNG will be sending the Ogre Magi out on an expedition to plant out some vision. They're like, yo, we don't see anything on the map, fam. Do something about that. It's like, I got you. They're going to smoke at mid simultaneously as well. They're going to head towards top. They see that XY has showed up there with the dragon form popped. Monet does have a TP scroll at the ready as well as a newly bought up Ring of Aquila. But here comes the surround. 1437. The level 2 tombstone and the flesh golem at the ready, and there's gonna come the TP from the Tiny. They drop down the tombstone first and foremost. They're gonna look towards bringing down this DK. They're gonna pop the stampede, however, and he's gotten well back into the tree. Spirit Lance will slow him down. In Your Dream gonna get tossed forward by a Moon Meander. They're gonna try and bring down XY. XY is being kept alive. They commit the Sanity's Eclipse, and they do get the kill. So RNG unable to respond in time. The Stampede was very nice, but there's no TP away for the DK. At the same time, Monet does find the solo kill onto Zephyr. So the Lina will not be able to reap the rewards that his team found in the top lane. How much damage was that Sanity's? 800 damage. So DK, yeah, no one's that tanky right now, bro. Monet's going to be building the Echo Saber. Seeing a Blink Dagger being queued up for XY thus far. So they figure they need more than just the Centaur in order to be able to initiate these fights. In particular, to get the Chain Disable out onto the PL. And as well, unlike the Blink Dagger with the Centaur, which has a small delay, regular form DK has an instant stun. So if they have any kind of reasonable certainty as to which PL is the real one, they can instantly initiate onto him and then set up the fight in that way. Radiant Scan, connect at top so they know that someone is here. In Your Dream, incidentally, is the one that's roaming around this area within any of his rune, looking to finish off his 4-staff. And definitely this is the kind of game where I can see being built into a Hurricane Pike as soon as humanly possible. Oh, my Dota just crashed. Okay, that's not supposed to be happening. Oh, Dota 2 beta, ladies and gentlemen. And we're back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That was just a young crash, as it were. It happens. Like I said, Dota 2 is a beta game, so it is what it is. Towards the top side of the map, we see Ajit looking to get a very early Hood of Defiance. This is the PL. Oh my god, things did not go as planned build. But it's decent enough in this game. Helps him a lot versus the Power Shot from Afu, versus Breathe Fire, versus the Double Edge. Yeah, this can be perfectly fine. They're going to try to take a fight right now for Tigers. The smoke will pop in Your Dream. Oh, SRF is going to blink right past them. So they're not going to be able to find any kills out of this. And because In Your Dream was the one whose smoke was popped, you can't necessarily show up as a surprise to catch out one of these heroes. Maybe Afu's going to get banished right now. But being banished not the same as this fight being successful as of yet. They pop the Stampede as soon as the banishment ends, but it's not enough to actually secure them being able to get a kill, or an escape rather, on the Wind Ranger. It is enough to get them a kill at bottom though. They bring down Zephyr on the Lina. That also gives XY almost enough gold to have the full Blink Dagger. He's gonna commit the ultimate form, looking towards Moon Meander, gonna get tossed towards his tier 1 tower. They get the Dragon Tail stun out onto the Tiny. Oh! Sanity's Eclipse once again dropped down onto the Dragonite. Monet now in trouble, needs some space to try and get the tree dance off. Will he get it? He will not just yet. Gets tossed with the creep onto him, but they haven't been able to kill him just yet. Instead, 343 will draw the aggro away from the team, have them chasing him on a merry little chase for a while. The toss is going to be there from another creep as well. And 343 is still running. He's going to self bloodlust. He's actually going to live. What an audacious move by the Ogre. Very nicely done by him. Monet survives with this Echo Saber. Gonna go into the Battle Fury now. Just as Ajit picks up the Hood of Defiance. And yet again, this game still hangs in the balance. 1,000 gold in either direction. No one's really leading. Level 10 is achieved by RG. Is going to get jumped on right now by SRF. There's going to be a double edge. And the Shackle Shot doesn't connect onto him. But they should still be able to find this kill. There's going to be the double Fire Blast. They heal him up right now with the Soul Robe coming in for 1437. 343 gets a tree thrown at him. Stampede used by SRF. The Tombstone will be spawned up. And they will eventually find the Ogre. In Your Dream, the Wonder Kid finds him around the dire rune spot. And they are able to claim that kill onto the Ogre Magi. They came so close to killing Ajit. Unfortunately, Afu's Shackle Shot did not connect as expected onto the PL. And we actually saw the usage there of the Hood of Defiance. If not for that hood, he actually would have died in that fight. But the little bit bonus magic resistance made all the difference in the world. Enables them to secure the life of the PL. But they're not done just yet. They actually want, they really want to get this kill. SRF as well as XY are going to head into the dire jungle right now. They managed to avoid the Lina. They're going to just go for the immediate Lina kill. Get the lowest common denominator. Sadly, this doesn't necessarily open up space for them to take the tier 1. They lost the Wind Ranger, who was killed by Moon Meander down at bottom. And 1437 and the boys will be able to hold this mid lane. The TP in from Arjit, scaring them away from them trying to go for any serious kind of attempt for a kill there. SRF has Blink. The Hood of Defiance has just cracked level 10, so got some magic resist for himself. Sounds like they're gonna smoke, or they have smoked already. Moon 1437 as well as in your dream. Moon Meander with this Blink Dagger. Once you get in on a field, catch somebody important. Seems though RNG. Oh no, never mind. I was about to say they seem to be aware that something is up. And nope, they're gonna find XY. XY is a dead man. And they're tossed into the air. The Stampede will come out. They're keeping him alive for the time being. But yet again, In Your Dream is very not shy. Has the temerity to drop the hammer from the skies every single time for the DK. I think all his 3 deaths have been from the ultimate. Yeah. And it does increasingly more on each iteration. Now they know that it's down though. They could potentially risk this fight. The SRF was looking to get the jump in. The Astral Imprisonment will go onto the MK thus far. TP flying in from 1437. The Wukong's command will be thrown out. Shackle Shot will land finally onto 1437. The Boundless Strike will be there as well. They do manage to burst down the Undying. On the other side, In Your Dream is now stuck in the corner. Will self-imprison. SRF did not actually go for the Hoof Stomp. We'll be able to find it now. Primal Spring will come down and they will be able to get the double kill thanks to SRF. And the Fire Blast will fall onto Moon Meander. LSA does fly out. They do bring down Monet. Laguna Blade now land onto SRF. Afu gets a Shackle Shot out onto Moon Meander. But they're going to be losing heroes left, right, and center. 343 will now die, chased down by the PL Illusions, and in the corner they find Afu as well. Zephyr with the Dragon Slave able to bring him down. A very expensive fight for the side of RNG. It took them so long to kill the Outworld Devourer that the rest of the team was able to set up, and they couldn't really fight around the zone where the tier 1 was. Just, you know, you don't want to take tier 1 tower damage at this stage of the game, so they end up all getting their lives taken away. Not to mention that XY was also dead because of the encroachment into their own jungle by Tigers. So game number 2, Tigers ahead now at this early stages. However, if the previous games are any indication, then that means that RNG are well on track to win the game. Moon Meander, no, they find Monet. Stampede will be there, but there will be no ability to keep him alive. Zephyr, the LSA just clipped the Monkey King long enough that they were able to secure that kill. Zephyr once again building Yules early on. In Your Dream might actually be wandering into a trap right now. Is it In Your Dream's trap or is it the DK that's wandering into a trap? 343 is gonna come out. They find the Fire Blast. Oh no, this is the multicast onto the OD. Can they get the stun? XY already used the Dragon Tail onto the Undying. Oh my god, that was a little bit of miscommunication there. I think if they told XY absolutely do not even bother looking for the Undying, get this OD, they could have killed her. But instead now Ajit running onto the DK has slowed him down with this Diffusal Blade. Still too much armor to actually kill this hero, so they will not be able to penetrate him. The shell of the scaly old lord, and he will be able to get himself to safety. Mid lane, tier 2 tower is going to be being pushed out by the side of Tigers with the Sea Dragon. They have all the damage that they need. It's going to take a while though, so I don't think they can do this for free. I think they need to either find a pick off or perhaps get back. But there's no Stampede. Okay, 2 seconds until Stampede. Never mind. Stampede is back. Does look like they're still going to let this tower get claimed though. They're not even using Bloodlust on it. And if you're not Bloodlusting your towers to defend them, you're not defending them at all. They're gonna instead put some pressure out on the top lane. XY and Monet are gonna try and get as close to the enemy tier 2 at top as possible. Erstwhile, Afu has been creep skipping here in the bottom lane, drawing back the creep aggro towards where the Dire tier 1 is. Top lane. Ooh, they blinked onto XY. They were looking for that kill, but in your dream can't find it.
Dire are scanning.
Moon meander. Oh, they dropped the tombstone. They know Afu's here. Afu's dead. Moon is gonna get the toss back towards where the tombstone is. They even use a stampede to make sure that Afu can run away faster, but they are unable to actually get him out of here totally. The tombstone might need to be destroyed right now. They're gonna maybe turn for this. Moon Meander is sitting in position. The Soul Rip will be there onto the tombstone. Moon Meander's gonna go. The rest of the heroes are nearby for RNG, but they're not actually going for this kill. The tombstone finally gets dropped down. Monet goes in. Wukong's command. They get the kill onto the DK thanks to the Laguna Blade. And now they realize the rest of Tigers have shown up. RNG will need to back away. A little bit of... Looks like something's coming apart at the seams. RNG's communication isn't as crisp as it was in the first 2 games. And they end up paying the price with the life of their DK.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
SRF does at least now have a Pipe of Insight, which is going to help a lot versus the Tiny as well as the Lina. Also against the OD. I mean, sometimes the Sanity is cliff damage. You're just like, this is just going to eviscerate me, Pipe or not. But the Pipe is definitely going to make a difference. And this Crimson Guard to follow is going to make a difference versus the Phantom Lancer. Speaking of PL, he is getting crazy far ahead. And the Monkey King still has not completed this Battle Fury that he committed to trying to buy after finishing the Echo Saber. Unfortunately, the ensuing fights have not really gone well for Monet. And I don't think they've taken as much advantage of the jungle as you can with this hero. They've tried to keep the Centaur relatively beefy as well. And XY too. Speaking of beefcakes, Afu is definitely dead bottom. They're going to drop a tombstone behind him. And they should be able to pick him off. Yep. You see him through the trees. There's no blink dagger available for our Wind Ranger. Tossed up into the air. Shackle shot onto the OD, but you can't shackle a tree. And the tree gets thrown at your face. And Wind Ranger shall die here. Behind, or rather in front of the tier 2 tower. And the tombstone will distract this creep wave long enough that in your dream should be able to put this tower out of its own misery. Tier 2 tower looks like it's gonna fall here on the bottom side of the map. And this OD get ever more farm, finishes the Hurricane Pike, and now the BKB will be in the offing. The fortification does prevent this from going down immediately. Lol. How greedy of you. The Moon is gonna come with the tree and they're gonna finish this off. Moon's actually building the same build as Zephyr almost. Blink Yules into 4-staff.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And top, they're gonna secure this bounty rune. They're gonna get 3 it seems for the side of Tigers. That 1 at top and then in your dream is gonna get 2 at bottom. Also have perfect vision right now. They should don't smoke. Okay, they don't have a smoke, thank God. They have smoked. Zephyr is gonna pop it, unfortunately. Yep. Feels bad. Because I might have actually been able to find it in your dream. And this would have been the perfect opportunity because Ajit is not nearby, so we wouldn't have had the added assistance of the Phantom Lancer, who is, by the way, far and away the most net worth high hero in the game. He's topping the charts. Almost 4k gold ahead of this Monkey King. And Monet almost has this Battle Fury. It's been a rough road. They've smoked now from Tigers. Oh no. They better not find Monet. They find 343. 343 will happily sacrifice his own life if it means that his cause can live.
Top tower is under attack.
Monet might be able to get a kill onto Zephyr. Okay, now LSA is down, but Zephyr's gonna back away immediately after using the spells. But it's also in front of a tier 1 tower, so maybe it wasn't the wisest move anyway. SRF will get the Vanguard now. It's interesting to see a Centaur only getting Vanguard at 26 minutes. It hasn't been what he's been looking for. They're going to get dewatered on their side of the map, RNG. So they're going to be playing very scared right now. They only have Monet as well as XY out at various parts of the map, pushing things out. This is the primary way to ensure that even if you do lose a fight somewhere, they're going to be forced to respond to you rather than vice versa. Zephyr is just waiting for a jump in from this Monkey King, but he's getting spotted out by this Observer Ward, so they know what's happening. Other side of the map, we do see XY pops BKB to avoid getting destroyed by the side of Tigers. Okay, we do have, if he can get to the secret shop, we will have a Battle Fury for the Monkey King. He's going to be so glad that Zephyr just showed in the top side, in the mid lane, to enable him to push onto the tower, use the tree dance to get on top of the secret shop, and finally pick up the Battle Fury. There we go. Also, at 15, he did get the crazy range on the tree dance. They're going to have to watch out bottom. Tier 1 tower is probably going to die soon. They need to be prepared for this one. XY tossed up into the air. LSA will connect. They have the Laguna Blade and they have the ultimate on OD. They're just going to pop the Stampede, however. This reveals their positioning though. So Monet has a little bit of time in order to make his mark known down at bottom. And somebody on Tigers, it's 1437, keeps pinging out that, hey, something's going on here. They send Zephyr to be the one to investigate. Now XY, my friend. Okay, he should be fine. Needs to TP home though. Oh, look how far forward he TPs, but he's gonna die now. Yule Scepter coming in from Moon Meander with the tombstone dropped on top of him. He's gonna BKB TP out. Dude, nah. Ajit is too strong. Ajit is just way too strong. And Monet, my friend, how did this happen? Oh no, Zephyr with the Yule Scepter catching out the Monkey King at bottom. No, Monet got so greedy. He saw them going onto XY at top and said, well, this is my one chance. Unfortunately, both of the heroes that are supposed to be creating space right now end up getting brought down. They're both meant to create space for the rest of the team, buy time. Monet is meant to carry the game. This is a lot of work that RNG's heroes have to do. They're 13k gold behind already at the 30-minute mark. The largest margin of lead that we've seen from either of these teams at this exact point. And already they're on the high ground looking at the tier 3 tower. It's going to go down. I doubt they'll be able to take the racks because the respawn will be there for the MK before that happens. But still, tier 3 tower almost certain to fall here. SRF looking for a chance to try and jump in. Can he get the jump? They've got the Fire Blast out onto the PL, but they already threw out the Spirit Lance onto SRF to ensure that this hero would not be able to make the jump in. And they already have the Heart of Tarask on these illusions. So these things, as well as the PL that they originate from, are beefy AF.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
Centaur went ahead and picked up the additional damage of the 15 talent. Okay, mid lane, XY tossed up into the air by Moon Meander. LSA this time not on point from Zephyr. And this vision game from Tigers has actually been impeccable. It was a good idea, I think, in game number 2 for them to pick up a gem on RNG. Because it just seems like the Tigers are on point with making sure that they see everything at the areas of the map they know they need to affect. Bottom lane will finally fall by itself. There's a double C Dragon Wave here. Monet is not going to die for this. He's just trying to build BKB. And the rest of Tigers, though, are going to go inside the Roshan pit. They're going to trade away the tier 1 bottom for the Rosh. And now Ajit, even stronger with this Aegis. Just finishes the Manta style as well. Manta, Aegis, and they're going to get top. Moon Meander with the Yule Scepter. BKB TP out. Can he get out this time? Yeah, he's fine. feels pretty bad that he has to resort to using it almost exclusively to TP away this BKB rather than to fight with. I mean, he's already down to 7 seconds with this BKB and we've yet to see him get involved with it. Monet. 1437 is being sent to get some more vision for his team on this side. Should get dewarded very quickly here.
Is under attack.
And they're going to take the shrine. Monet just going to clear out this creep wave.
Radiant's bottom shrine.
You just keep this up. Actually, now you're back. Go top, go top, go top. This is so scary. Lina went for the Aghanims first. So this is going to be their tool of ensuring that they can still kill the Dragon Knight even if he's attempting the BKB escape. Picks up the halberd now.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
So that'll be useful versus Ajit as well as the OD. They have to back though. Looks like Tigers are seriously threatening to go in through the mid lane. They're like, oh, you guys don't want to be here right now? Okay. They're going to leave Monet at top to take the tier 2 tower while the rest of them all try to delay as much as possible. The Bloodlust has been thrown onto the tower, but Ajit is not bothered by this at all. Monet will claim the top tier 2. Now he has to come back. Gotta come back now, my friend. They're going to smoke RNG. Perhaps can still take this fight. They do not have a glyph. What's it gonna be? What's gonna happen? Shackle shot landing at middle. Where's SRF? He can't follow this up.
Top tower is under attack.
Oh my goodness. Where's the Monkey King? Monet was just finishing off BKB. Doesn't have TP scroll. Oh my god. He does not have a TP scroll on the Monkey King. So they're gonna be forced to just give up an entire lane of racks for absolutely nothing. He's just waiting around right now until he can TP back to the base. He should be pushing while this is happening. Oh my god. So many things going wrong for the side of Royal Never Give Up. Monet will never forgive himself for that one. Can't not have TP and be that far out the map, my friend. Maelstrom now going to be built up by the Wind Ranger. They drop the Tombstone just to make sure that there's initiation space. Is going to be SRF jumping in. They want to try and bring down Ajit. Ajit still does have this Aegis of the Immortal Moonmeander and looking for Afu. BKB now popped by XY. He wants to try and bring down 1437. Stampede will be used as well. Wukong's command also going into the middle of the fray. They managed to bring down the Lina Zephyr. It's going to be the first one to fall here. Ajit does fight on the backside of this. We do see now OD putting in the damage out onto 343. 343 now is going to prevent himself losing his life. BKB popped by the OD, turning around onto the center wall, and they're going to drop the ultimate, the hammer. That was all the damage in the world. They're going to bring down SF or Wind Ranger. Afu going to die as of next. Monet, man fighting versus Ajit, but now out of his own BKB, he's going to get surrounded by the Phantom Lancer. All the illusions rushing towards the Monkey King, and they surround him, they bring him down. Will they be able to kill him? Yes, they will. One more Spirit Lance, all they need, they get it. And there's no buyback available for the Monkey King. They toss up into the air, SRF as well. He went to try and defend this, but then the Laguna Blade as well as the Hurricane Pike hits ensure that OD is able to kill him, and OD will bring down 343 as well. And it's going to be a GG called by RNG. Stay XY, the last man standing, figuratively speaking, is dumped back into the ground as well. And that's GG. Royal Never Give Up, unfortunately, put into the ground, this time decisively by the Tigers. 1437 and his crew take advantage of the early game. This time they do not falter like the previous games we've seen, and they walk away the victors decisively at that. 929. Oh my goodness. Goldgraph and experience were almost at 20,000 in favor of Royal Never Give Up. It was in favor of Tigers, excuse me. It was an absolute bloodbath. Just felt like for the longest time, I think since, you know, when I think the game started really coming apart for Tigers, that one fight that they took at top behind the tier 1 tower where they're trying to kill OD, and they eventually do get the kill, but they lost 4 heroes in the process, and they used Wukong's command during that. I think after that, Tigers were like, yeah, we've got this, guys. Like, they just don't have any immediate damage, sadly. DK also didn't really manage to keep up with the rest of his team. Just can't do anything as this DK hero. I mean, you stay alive, you get farm, but, you know, ends up dealing less damage this game than everybody except the Ogre. So, There's a reason the heroes fell off, and Royal never give up. They experiment with it in game number 3, perhaps feeling that XY is extremely comfortable with the hero, and they do not end up succeeding with it. So that will mean that Tigers will be your first grand finalist here at the Dreamleague Season 10 playoff in the minors. Tomorrow, they will be the ones awaiting a challenger. Winning this series out 2-1, RNG will drop down to the loser bracket to play against Na'Vi to see which one of the two teams will have the right to come back and challenge the Tigers for the throne, the title of the first minor winner of the 2018-2019 DPCE season. But ladies and gentlemen, that's me. That's Snare. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining. And I will be seeing you guys later for more Dota 2 action after this minor, during the minor, and any other time in between. So ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Thanks for being here, and good night.